I once watched a man die, and as the light was slowly fading from his eyes, he grabbed my hand and he said to me, "Peter?" I replied, "Yes, Ben." He said, "What is it all for? All these streaming services, this plague." And then he shed the mortal coil. And to this day, that question still echoes in my head, because I don't know. Why are we surrounded by so many dog shit streaming services? When will it end? It's entirely unnecessary. All that being said, one of them that I've made fun of quite a bit in the past has just done something to impress me. Tubi, which used to be a joke, at least to me. I used to view that platform as a big hoot and a holler gag. Kind of like it didn't even register to me as like a legitimate service, just more so like a pathetic whimper of a platform. But I just familiarized myself with their catalog, and I genuinely have to give them props for what they're doing over there. Yeah, I saw the Tubi news. I've been clowning on Tubi for a little while. Like, I'm not the most familiar with it, but when we were going through like the streaming services rabbit hole where everything is a streaming service and half of them you haven't even heard of, just like the wackiest ones that are just actual glup shitto tier names. Tubi was one of them that we kind of clowned on. But then I saw their catalog here. They're adding some of the all-time great cartoons to their catalog. So much so that I think this is just like an actual game changer in the streaming landscape. Just look at this list of some of the shit they've added. Codename Kids Next Door, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Batman Brave and the Bold, Ben 10, Dexter's Lab, Ed, Ed and Eddie, Foster's Home, Justice League, Pinky and the Brain, Powerpuff Girls, Teen Titans, Batman. It's an incredibly stacked catalog now that they have. So I'm becoming somewhat of a Tubi fan. That is incredible news. No subscriptions and all ad-free, which is something I didn't know, in my defense, when we clowned on it a while ago. I did not know that. No one told me that. That was a lie, by the way. Just a full-blown fib from chat. It's not entirely ad-free, apparently. I don't know what that guy was smoking. Maybe that was a Tubi representative trying to get people hype and sell everyone on Tubi and just made that up. But it is not ad-free. It's still a free service, like you can still watch things, but there are ads. That's how they make money. Didn't Tubi make shit ads a while back? You're thinking of Quibi. That was the one where they, like, paid millions and millions of dollars in marketing and millions of dollars on these, like, absolute dog shit movies that are, like, 40 minutes long that were terrible. That was Quibi. Or, nope, that's not the name of it. What the hell was it called? Oh, no, it was Quibi. I did get it right. You're thinking of this. No, Tubi actually used to blow. It's just gotten better. Okay, then maybe it was truly the perfect time to clown on it, and now they're good. Unironically ahead of its time, now all people do is watch movies and shows on TikTok. You're talking about Quibi? You're not wrong. The way that people consume content has drastically changed. So actually, they were ahead of their time. People literally watch House exclusively through YouTube Shorts, for example. Tubi still has a ton of extremely fun bad movies like Tales of the Detroit Pig Lady. Tales of the Detroit Pig Lady? That's a Tubi original? Like, what is this? One of Nolan's earlier works? What the hell is Detroit Pig Lady? This looks interesting. Oh, it just started playing. Hold on. The whole thing just immediately started playing. That's so hype. What an easy service to use. The Detroit legend of an old woman who lived on the block. They say she resembles a pig and will appear if you say her name 3 times in a dark room. So it's Bloody Mary, but for the Detroit Pig Lady. The Blood of La Llorona. Wait, maybe I need to watch some of this Tubi trash. Wait, these might go kind of hard. The Walk of Rufus to Theodos. The Priest Thanksgiving Massacre. Die 2-4. What does that mean? Die 2-4? I can't even process what that could mean. Oh, it's 2 die 4. Oh my god, the formatting on that is worse than the don't open dead inside one. Don't dead open inside. It's under the picture. Oh, I didn't even look. I was just looking at these. I was too drawn in for the actual the text at the bottom. Horror anthology of short horror films from cult underground indie horror filmmakers from across the globe that will make your heart race. Bombshell Butcher. Creepy Tales of Pizza and Gore. Bro, I'm gonna have to watch some of this Tubi shit. It sounds awesome. There's a Popeye horror movie called Popeye the Slayer. You aren't ready for the meals Tubi is prepared to serve you up. No, I don't think so. I can handle their strongest potions. I have seen so much shit, there is nothing on Tubi that's going to be worse than some of the things I've already seen. Bro, these movies literally have like $20 budgets. I mean, that's cool. Hey, even if the 99% of this is trash, it's cool that they at least give them a platform to slap it on. Whatever. I can't even be mad at that. And the fact that they now have some of the best... it's not even up for debate. The fact that they have the best catalog when it comes to animation now. Well, we'll say cartoons. I'm a Tubi fan. It feels like a piracy streaming site layout. A little bit, huh? So how does Tubi make money if it's completely ad-free and no subscription? What's their monetization model? Is this some kind of like honey level shadiness? Like, what do they do? It does have ads. Oh, okay. Why does chat keep fucking lying then? Okay, so they do have ads. What happened to the League of Legends arc? Oh man, I'll spoil this a little bit, I suppose. I made a joke a while ago, like after we won the Demacia Cup, about doing like a full documentary, and we have gone hog wild on that documentary. So we got a huge documentary coming up about our Demacia Cup win as we prep for our next clash for the Noxus Cup. So we went hard on the documentary following we found the G spot. So I'm still deep in that League of Legends arc. Holy shit, put it on Tubi! We should do that. It is very high quality. I think people will be very excited. We got the Shopify Rebellion editing squad on it. Well, I don't want to spoil it too much, because we also have a really, really big surprise with it that kind of blew the scale of it way over our expectations. We might have got a little too big with it. Will Chinese Charles also do a documentary? We'll see. Oh man, the Chinese translation on Bilibili for our League documentary is going to go nuts. They're going to be so excited on Bilibili to follow the journey of We Found the G-Spot. WFTGS Gaming. Holy. Wow. The world looks so different today. The colors don't even seem the same. It feels like this morning I woke up in an alternate dimension. One separate from the dimension I inhabited yesterday. The new research that was published changed everything. We've been lied to our whole lives. And I know you've probably already seen it. I imagine some of you took the day off of work just to process it. They found the male G-spot. And I didn't even know it was lost, like the city of Atlantis. I thought we had already pinpointed that sucker down eons ago. I remember for as long as I've had holes, I was told that the G-spot was buried deep in my ass, and that's where it stayed. But apparently, that was all a lie. That was a guess that wasn't ever fully confirmed, and now they've published new research saying definitively we have found the male G-spot, and it's not in that cavernous hole. You see the new male G-spot meta? I did. It's out of reach though. My loadout isn't equipped for the new meta for G-spot. It's apparently a place on your foreskin, not in your butthole. Male G-spot revealed, and if you guessed it's in the butt, you're wrong. Intensely pleasurable. Also, no one's guessing it's in the butt. That's what we were told for years. It was supposedly confirmed to be in the asshole. Not like people just randomly made that up. But now new evidence, I guess, throws that theory in the trash. After years of searching, I like that. Like it's the fountain of youth. After years of searching, scientists in Spain have finally found the male G-spot, discovering this so-called erogenous zone is far from where they suspected. They detailed their findings in a stimulating study published in the journal Andology. Where's the so-called on switch, defined by its capacity to induce intense orgasms upon stimulation, in an obscure region called the frenular delta, a triangular zone located on the underside of the penis where the head meets the shaft, an area so mysterious it has long been omitted from sexual health textbooks. Oh my god, they discovered a new area of my cock? I didn't know that. I thought it was just like a foreskin spot. Years of searching, it's not like they're going to the Amazon rainforest. Just touch your dick or ass, bro. That's very true. Yeah. It's not like it was some kind of crazy expeditious journey to find it. Like you can study the shit out of your wiener and butt. According to this study conducted by scientists at the University of Santiago de Compostela in Spain, this region is richly innervated by partially overlapping perineal related to the region connecting the genitals and anus, and dorsal, aft-facing nerve branches with heightened concentrations of nerve bundles and pleasure receptors. In layman's person terms, the frenular delta makes for intensely pleasurable and highly specialized sensations, according to the paper. By finding this penile pleasure panel, scientists have closed the book on a region that has eluded scientists for years, like sexplorers finding a phallic northwest passage. For decades, scientists have seen the prostate as the trigger for male orgasms, but had neglected to identify it on the proverbial pleasure map until now. That's good news. We're finally here. We've arrived. The apex of society. It kept hiding from us. Sex 2 is finally upon us. That's right. That's right. You can kick and you can scream, but it'll come all the same. We have discovered the male G-spot. And it's right where I said it was from the very beginning. I've been saying for years that the dark side of the moon on the penis it's highly unexplored. No one ever checks underneath. Do we flick it or something? You do whatever you want with it. You slap it, you fucking fart on it. I don't know, man. But I think you need to have your foreskin for it. Can I sue the doctor that took my G-spot? I know. A question on everyone's mind now after this stunning revelation. The G-spot Krampus that stole all our foreskin, hogging the G-spots to himself. It's a game changer, not gonna lie, feels so good. Okay, I can only speak as a circumcised man, but I feel like there's no way uncircumcised dudes didn't know that, right? Like, I feel like just through trial and error and experimenting, you would have found that, oh, this spot feels cool. Wow, this feels so good over here, right? Like, there's no way someone who's uncircumcised read this and they're like, holy fuck, I never thought to touch under my wiener. I'm only ever on top doing this, like a DJ. Like, I feel like this isn't new information for, like, the majority of people. It's just now it's being officially labeled as the male G-spot. That guy's the only hooded homie left alive. Yeah, we have to preserve him. Put him in a bubble. We must study him. Ask him questions. The only man with a hot dog and a bun still around. So does that mean the spot in your ass was just LARPing as the G-spot? I feel like it must have been like maybe a placebo thing or something. I don't know, I never tried getting up in there and seeing what that felt like. But I feel like just because of all of the propaganda, like all of the articles written about it, a lot of people probably convinced themselves that this is euphoria, this is the good stuff. Meanwhile, they're just fiddling around in their butt. It doesn't do anything. The other channel video, which one of the boys can find their G-spot first, doing everything behind a curtain so you can only see the shadows. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. I'll write it down. I'll put it in the notes. So you're saying I've been sticking my finger up my ass for nothing. I wouldn't say nothing. You're becoming more familiar with your body. Knowledge is power and all that. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it was moot. You probably got some experience out of it. Mapping it like you're splunking. Exactly. Exactly right. He gets it. I once stuck my finger in my anus to get the poop out, but it felt kind of good. What's your plan, man? How would you get the poop out by sticking a finger up there? All you're doing is just plugging it further up. What the hell? What? How is that? What kind of strategy is that? It's not like a lawnmower with like a ripcord or anything. Like all you're doing is just poking it. Fish hooking, I guess. Oh, I guess. Yeah, you could be fish hooking. Turning my asshole into an arcade claw game. Nurses do it for chronic constipation. Well, I don't think they just... Well, I don't know, maybe they do. I was gonna say, I don't think they just go like one finger up and just start jamming it up there or something like Naruto 10,000 Years of Pain. Like, I imagine there's probably a methodology to it. They just slap the cheeks around, probably. Can you imagine if that was the actual, like, medicinal strategy? I see you've got some impacted feces here. All right, bend over. Just on, like, bongos on their ass. It's shockwave treatment. They do it for kidney stones. You don't need foreskin, it's above the foreskin. I don't know if this article covers it, but I was reading that in order to, like, actually optimize male G-spot, you need foreskin. Let's see. Maybe I've been lied to. Maybe they're still trying to keep it under wraps. Doesn't say here. Let me just Google it. Let's see. Male G-spot foreskin required or not? Let's see. It seems like it's too new. People still talking about the back door. Yeah, I don't see any information on whether or not it's required or not. From what I saw earlier, it is. Maybe it's not. Who's really to say? We're still on the cusp of this discovery. This is like electricity. This is big. We still don't quite understand all of the inner workings of it. We're working it out. You ever experience a Winter Soldier moment, son? Well, you're about to. I'm going to trigger one for you. Campbell's Chicken Noodle Possibilities. Remember that? Well, what if those possibilities were that you're consuming terrible 3D printed bioengineered meat? That right now is the big story around Campbell's, whom I'm sure all of you are familiar with Campbell's food products. I think a lot of us here have grown up with it. There was a recording that just got released that was filmed in secret by an employee that was, I guess, listening to a goddamn podcast from the VP of Information at Campbell's, who was ranting and raving about how terrible the quality of their food is and why he'd never buy it, how it's food for poor people, calling it bioengineered, 3D printed, basically just saying it's all like a bunch of shit you feed to piggies, not people. Then he also started like insulting Indians during this. It was like an hour and a half long recording, allegedly. It was recorded by a former employee named Robert Garza, who's filing a lawsuit about basically being wrongfully terminated because he tried to like complain about this kind of behavior. And the person apparently that has been recorded is Campbell's VP of Information Technology, Martin Bawley. I learned about this eye-opening revelation on stream, so I'm going to show you those clips, which also has like the pertinent audio section about like the bioengineered meat. Because that is a pretty big claim to say that it's like not real, low-quality, bioengineered meat from a 3D printer. 3D printed meat, that's like fucking SpongeBob canned bread moment right there. I didn't think we were at that point, and I still don't think we are. I'm pretty sure this guy was just a bit off his gourd during this rant, and it seems like it was a rant he was delivering straight from the soul. To be able to yap for an hour and a half, apparently uninterrupted, just raving about the company you are a VP at, like that's a lot. So I feel like he kind of got a little lost in the sauce. I would be very surprised to learn that it's actually 3D printed meat. I think what he was just trying to express is that it's so beneath him he would never eat this poor people food that his company makes. That seems to be the what he was trying to express. You hear about the Campbell's soup drama right now. Security analysts secretly recorded the executive VP for the company saying the soup is made with bioengineered meat that they make for poor people. What? Yeah, I just read a comment, and I just looked it up. There's a bunch of articles. Campbell's Soup at risk of being shut down in Florida because there was secret audio that was recorded with the VP saying that their meat is bioengineered, like slop, basically, quote, made for poor people.
Oh yeah, bioengineered meat chicken from 3D printer.
Campbell's
Soup VP mocks poor people who buy its food.
I have got to check this shit out later. What
the fuck?
3D printed meat.
Yeah, what the fuck? These stories always blow my mind because how many people have to know and not say anything.
Yeah, like this is just one of those things where there are so many people in this pipeline, and this is the first I've ever heard of that. We have shit for fucking poor people. I don't buy fucking Campbell's products. Now that I know, oh my god, this is crazy.
I'm attorney Mark Bernstein.
Oh, Jesus.
Now that I know what the fuck's in it.
How is that? Like, I didn't even think we had that technology yet to, like, print meat.
So we do, but it's currently more expensive. It's super interesting because this guy also just sounds stupid.
Is taking legal action against
bioengineered meat, if I'm not mistaken, is really expensive right now because they can't do it in bulk.
It's got to be something, right? They have to find some way of doing it cheap.
Explosive allegations about one of its top executives.
I guess the other thing is, I can almost guarantee Campbell's probably comes out and goes, "Hey, we don't print our chicken."
Well, yeah, but apparently it's an audio recording of the VP saying that. I want to hear the audio. Where is it?
Of Monroe.
Yeah, that's my thought, though, is like the higher-ups are going to come out and be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Yeah, but it's the VP. Okay, here, hold on. Here's the audio.
So in a company like Campbell's, there's probably like 1,000 VPs.
You think so? I guess that's true.
Yeah, here, I can look on LinkedIn. VP is like the lowest end of the impressive sounding title, basically.
Okay.
I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. So healthy. Now that I know what the in it.
Campbell's
Even
Soup
in can of
Company.
soup, I
I'm
look
gonna
at
look
it,
them up on LinkedIn. Let's see.
Bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. You?
The recording.
Okay, hearing the recording, it sounds like he's exaggerating. It sounds like the 3D printer is something he made up. But he's basically saying, like, this is actual trash food I would never eat. I don't want to eat meat that came from a 3D printer, do you? It sounds like he's the one that's, like, pulling that out, not saying that it actually comes from that.
Yeah, it's, like, hyperbolic a little bit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But even still, just putting that out there is just an immediate, like, bomb to the company.
Yeah, like, I have to imagine their stock has dropped.
Man, that's so fucking
alleges
interesting.
Campbell's Soup VP made racist comments. It says its food is made for poor people. Yeah, it seems like this guy lost his noggin.
It's a 15... Whoa, the recording lasted longer than an hour and 15 minutes.
I just saw that.
Holy shit. What, was he just like uninterrupted monologuing at the office here while this guy recorded it?
A guy just went, over and over as he
Yeah.
recorded on his phone.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly.
Ravens are another thing. They couldn't think for the themselves. I'm like, you dumb
Just pure disgust.
And when he complained,
the response to Robert sticking up for other people is he gets fired.
I'm so curious what even spawned this rant from him. Like, did he just come in randomly like, all right, everyone gather around, I got a campfire story to tell you. Fuck Campbell's, this is shit for poor people, listen to me, listen well. Like, I wonder what got him down this road in the first place. Just like this snowball turning into an avalanche of a rant against the company where he is like a higher level position at. Like, maybe it was something as simple as Robert being like, hey man, what's going on today? He's like, well, let me fucking tell you what's going on today. It's crazy. And so he did record this. It feels pretty cut and dry here that this is that guy saying these things. And in retaliation, after complaining, he was fired. He was sticking up for his fellow employees and got fired for it. Big Campbell's themselves have responded saying, if the comments heard on the audio recording were in fact made by Mr. Bali, they are unacceptable. Such language does not reflect our values and the culture of our company. We do not tolerate this kind of language under any circumstances. So, criticizing his use of sentence enhancers. He's got a bit of a sailor's mouth on him, and Campbell's is condemning that. He's been temporarily put on leave while they conduct their own investigation. They noted his role in IT, which has nothing to do with how Campbell's makes its food, which is true. When I first was reading this story, it wasn't exactly clear to me what his role is, but after looking it up, he is not in, like, the production of its food, so it would be information he wouldn't be privy to in the first place, which is why I said during the stream it sounds like he's just exaggerating about, like, 3D printed meat. He views it as just, like, this lesser food because he's a fucking executive or something at Campbell's, so he wouldn't touch the shit. I don't think he's actually claiming it's 3D printed, and I would be very surprised if it was, because that would be extremely fucking expensive. More expensive than just sourcing cheaper chicken somewhere. But they responded to this saying, we are proud of the food we make, the people who make it, and the high quality ingredients we use to provide consumers with good food at a good value. We know that millions of people use Campbell's products, and we're honored by the trust they put in us. The comments heard on the recording about our food are not only inaccurate, they are patently absurd. Campbell's then said that the chicken meat in its soup comes from long-trusted USDA-approved US suppliers with high-quality standards. So basically their response is, this is a load of hooey, this guy's a fucking wacko, and everything he said is a bunch of horseradish. Which, yeah, that makes sense as a response here. He does sound like off his rocker during the recording, just bouncing from like one complaint to another. And like I said, I really doubt that they actually 3D print their chicken at Campbell's. I've liked Campbell's like my whole life. I've never had like a problem with it. Is it like the highest quality gourmet food you can eat? No. And it's not supposed to be. I don't see what there is to be so incredibly angry about, where you're just like shitting on it entirely, saying like it's strictly for poor people, it's bioengineered 3D printed meat, and it would never touch my refined palate. Absolutely not. Like, it's fucking absurd, man. Like, Campbell's is for anyone that wants like a cheap, quick little meal that's decent. That's always been where Campbell's lives, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But it is so fucking weird to hear him go on this rant. Like, I do think this will do legitimate damage to the company, given his position and his fiery words here. And it's also terrible what happened to Robert, where you get punished for trying to do the right thing. So hopefully he wins that lawsuit here, because it sounds like this guy just went fucking rogue. It doesn't sound like Campbell's is going to be backing him up, at least not right now. It doesn't seem to be like that. But I guess we'll have to see. Like, maybe it turns out this recording is, you know, a bunch of horse hockey. Like, it's not real or something, but I doubt it. It seems like it probably is. Anyway, though, just found this to be interesting. Wanted to share it. That's about it. So, yeah. Are you happy? If the answer to that question is yes, then stay far away from Pokemon tournaments. You turn the cheek, run the other direction as quickly as you can, Buster, because that is an environment where joy and whimsy goes to die. It has now been confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt that the biggest dweebs on this planet are Pokemon judges, and they are like Dementors. They will suck the happiness out and will punish you for even the slightest signs of happiness. If you celebrate, I hope you're ready to go to jail, because Pokemon competition is more joyless than an active war zone. It is cutthroat. 2 weeks ago, I made a video covering a situation where a Pokemon Go player won a tournament, but because he celebrated, they punished him by taking the win away, thus his opponent ended up winning the tournament because of it. It was an automatic loss, which gave his opponent the win. Because of excessive celebration, deeming it unsportsmanlike. Just as a reminder, this is the celebration they punished.
Now on his 11th one, he is the first-time champion for himself and your 2026 Orlando champion!
Incredible series from Firestar, pulling out all the stops, all the Pokemon, taking us to a decisive Game 5. Could not have asked for anything else.
Pokemon judges are literally the fun police. That is the entirety of his celebration after winning this tournament. He sets his headset down and gives one pump, then shakes his opponent's hand. I get more animated when my Uber Eats gets here. Like, that is about as tame a celebration as you can possibly fucking find. That is the epitome of sportsmanship. He's happy, he's emotionally won, but he doesn't become, over the top with it. He doesn't stand on the chair and slam 2 beers together like Stone Cold Steve Austin, or start butt-chugging brewskis or something, saying fuck you to his opponent and say, get out of here, pussy, lean over, give him a wet willy and an atomic wedgie on the way out. Nothing. It is pathetic that these dorks, these greasy, stinky losers, punished him for that. But what's even more pathetic is that they're standing by it, and that's why I'm talking about it again today. They released an official statement where they've all come together in their fucking stink cloud, their fucking fart fumes, and decided that the Council of Judges was correct in this punishment here. And then they also reinforced another ruling where they punished another Pokemon player, this time in the TCG, who celebrated early, maintaining that they did deserve to lose that as well. These fucking Pokemon judges suck major ass. I think it is irrefutable. This evidence confirms that there are no bigger twerps on this planet than Pokemon judges. If you want to avoid a fate like that, you right now need to fix the stink, so go to usecheeky.com and get the best soap in the universe. The queso bar just launched as well, by the way. It's coconut. Like, we've got the best soap out there, and you need to take your hygiene seriously, or else you might just end up like a Pokemon judge. Here's the Pokemon Play Team's official toilet paper. At the recent Pokemon Orlando Regionals, 2 instances of penalties being issued during streamed matches have created questions within the community about celebrations. They're illegal. You're going to jail if you show any emotion at an official Play Pokemon event. I'll sum it up for you. Spoiler alert. Play Pokemon has reviewed each instance and would like to provide more information. In the first, during the Pokemon TCG Swiss Round 13 match, the tournament headphones were removed and were thrown onto the table on top of cards and damage counters, putting the TCG game state in disarray before additional game action could be taken to complete the game. A match loss was issued for the disruption to the game state and not playing out the final sequence to the game. I didn't cover that one, but I'll briefly show you what they're referring to there.
Wow! 2 cards! Rips it off the 6 cards! Are you kidding me here? Makani!
Basically what happened is he drew the win condition. It was checkmate at that moment, but he celebrated before finishing the game, so he put his headphones down and it moves the cards around. So they viewed that as throwing the game into disarray. It fucking annihilated the game state. It was all ruined. It's completely kaput. So they issued a game loss for it. This one was a bit more divisive. Some people think that this is an outrageous ruling. Others think it makes sense because he didn't actually finish the game before doing that. I personally think this one has the most wiggle room to be justified because he didn't finish it out. It would be like in chess, if you have the checkmate, but then you fucking slap the chessboard before you actually finish the checkmate. That would be improper. So I do understand that to a certain degree, but I think a match loss is a bit overkill. I feel like this could have been the first warning because it didn't ruin the game. The game literally is over from that moment. There is nothing that can be done, as I understand it, in the current meta there. So it was over. He just needed to finish out the sequence. So to me, I think a game loss is a little extreme. That could have been the first warning there. And according to the player, 2 separate head judges told him that he was given a match loss for throwing his headset down and being dangerous. Not a single judge told him that he was given the game loss for disrupting the board state, and then wasn't given the chance to appeal the ruling either. So to me, it does feel far more cutthroat than it should. And then the most egregious is obviously what happened with the Pokemon Go celebration, where the game was completely over, and then a very mild celebration, which I wouldn't even use the word celebration. To me, a celebration is like what you see in the end zone in the NFL or in the college football, where you get a touchdown, you spike the ball, you hit some of these maneuvers right here, like the "Where's My Hug At" or something like that. Bust out the fucking Gangnam Style, maybe. That's a celebration. What he did was the most, like, normal, like, oh, I'm happy moment doing this. Like, even Pokemon characters do that. They do more than that, mind you, but that's like literally the bare minimum of being like, oh, whoopee, I won. And they're calling it excessive and unsportsmanlike. And they're standing by that decision. So going back to their official statement, in the second instance, during Pokemon Go Grand Finals, we would like to share some information which may not be known to the broader community. Prior to the final game incident, during Game 1 of the Bracket Reset series, a player was issued a warning for the action of hitting and shaking the table during gameplay. Actions such as these can have a negative impact on the experience of participants and disturb the match in progress. Then, during Game 5, this same player's behavior continued to be disruptive, including shaking the table to the point that there was a disruption to the broadcast experience. These repeated infractions resulted in a penalty that was escalated to game loss. If that isn't the biggest load of hooey I've ever heard, you can watch the footage yourself. There was nothing disruptive happening, not from what I went through and re-watched. And plus, the game loss came after the celebration. Like, unsportsmanlike, I believe, is what was being tossed around. But now they're saying it was actually because he was shaking the table. It was a fucking earthquake he was having go on over there. We couldn't even get the broadcast going. It was so all over the place. It was a natural disaster, a fucking calamity. We will uphold the decisions made by the judges at this event. Pokemon judges are committed to bringing the best possible experience to our players by preserving the competitive integrity of our events. Yeah, it's in the shitter. It has completely been flushed down the tubes with this, by the way, because you could win grand finals, but you best be completely fucking stoic and silent. Even the slightest iota of a smirk will have that title stripped from your fucking cold, dead paws. They will rip that W from your hands if they see you happy. What do you mean preserving the competitive integrity? You took away the winner's win and gave it to someone who lost. All over them celebrating slightly. Without them and their commitment to play Pokemon, we would not be able to hold events, and it is our expectation that they are treated with the same respect as all people in the community. In the moment of a win, emotions are high, and we recognize that these emotions can lead to energetic reactions celebrating a win, which, by the way, didn't really happen here. It wasn't that energetic. My fucking grandfather, I saw him get more animated when the mailman would show up than I saw from this guy winning the fucking grand finals of this tournament. It wasn't that energetic, mind you. We want to support this authentic positive reaction and not discourage this excitement. Celebrations are not an issue, but actions that disrupt or negatively impact competitive integrity can be. We will continue to listen to the community of players and our judges on how best to evolve our tournament system rules and how penalties are enforced. The Play Pokemon team, they sign it off. Now, Firestar73, the player who had his title ripped from him for his celebration, did make a statement after this official Play Pokemon piece and said, "The incident you are now for the first time claiming was the basis of the decision did not affect the gameplay at all, yet decided the whole tournament. That is 100% correct. It had no impact on the game at all, even if he was shaking the table, which I don't see any strong evidence of him being over there like, the waves of the ocean, moving the table back and forth all wobbly. I don't see anything like that. But none of it affected the gameplay, no matter how you spin it. Section 2.1 requires a clear explanation of any infraction and its penalty, and I was never given this as the basis at all." That is also true. Apparently that was never relayed. There's even a community note that talks about this. Firestar wasn't given an initial warning for shaking the table. This is a major infraction under Section 5.1 of the penalty guidelines, and then it also has something about Makani, who received a game loss for a headset throw and wasn't able to appeal, and Section 433 of the Tournament Rule Handbook allows for an appeal. So they're not following their own guidelines, basically. Which doesn't come as a surprise to me, because it feels like these are complete losers that are power tripping and looking for any excuse to exert their authority here. Did I just catch you showing emotion? You lost now, Buster. Ha! Give that back. Don't you ever show me a smile again. And I mean it. I'm a Pokemon professor, by the way. So cringe, man. Actually so cringe. So they're standing by the decision. Firestar 73 does not get the win that he earned. Also in the TCG space, Makani does not get that win either. They're standing by both decisions there. I think the most egregious is the case with Firestar 73. I think there are no grounds for that. I think that is a complete sham. And I think the community should be very alarmed that this is who controls the events. You best be on your most emotionless behavior in the future of this competitive scene here. The competitive environment of play Pokemon events from this point forward better be quieter than a fucking library. It's going to be like a funeral in there, not an ounce of joy. So, I guess that's what they're looking for. That's what they're trying to cultivate. This shit's so stupid, man. It's so embarrassing. It's so shameful. Had to yap about it. I had to give you the follow-up. That's really about it. See ya. Uh-oh. It's knocking on our door. The trick-or-treaters from Hollywood have arrived with their AI productions now. Darren Aronofsky, a world-renowned director whom I'm sure you're familiar with at least some of his work, like Requiem for a Dream, Black Swan, The Whale, most recently Caught Stealing, which I'm not sure if it did like super well in the box office or not, but he is a director with some real meat behind him. And he has just released a trailer for an AI series called On This Day 1776. It is a fully AI-generated production that uses some real voice actors to do the voice acting, so it didn't just steal people's voices for it. Wow. What a saint. But that's the only thing it didn't steal. Not even Gollum's appearance was safe. Look at the way Benjamin Franklin looks in this fucking trailer. He looks like Gollum if he went to a boarding school, or like one of those manners courses, those etiquette classes. Oh my god, it is revolting. It is a complete disaster of a trailer and a terrible idea to just fully AI generate a movie or a show. It's something that we've all known is coming because they haven't exactly been shy about wanting to replace everything in the creative space like art, video games and shit, like this entire pipeline with AI in order to save money. So this was always going to be hitting our doorstep at some point, and it's already here. But what I didn't expect is the general here riding into battle that's spearheading this operation, this diabolical decline in quality of our products with AI. I didn't expect it to be someone whom I've respected for a long time, Darren Aronofsky. He is clearly more washed than my fucking dishes. This is so embarrassing. It would be less insulting if he just like fucking 4K upscaled 2 Girls 1 Cup and called it his newest project. Like, this is just so trash, man. It's actually infuriatingly bad. So I want to go through the trailer here so we can point and laugh at this garbage together. But before doing that, I want to talk about something positive, a little bit of a palate cleanser before we dive into this. Cheeky has free rinse soap now. It's available right now. It's an official collaboration with Freerin. As all of you know, I'm a huge fucking Freerin fan these days. The light on my desk is kind of making it hard to see the beautiful art on our boxes. I have to hold it at a very specific angle so the camera will even moderately focus on it. But anyway, yeah, we now have free rinse soap. Use cheeky.com. It's the best soap in the universe, highly moisturizing, and I really think these two free rinse scents are some of our best yet. Damn, I thought by trying to get in there quick it would focus on it right away, but it didn't. Anyway, they're available now at usecheeky.com. I'm a huge fucking Freerin fan, so I've been really pumped about this one.
The rebellious war has become more general.
Too many still unsure of why we fight.
We have it in our power to begin the world over again.
Wow, aren't you glad they didn't use real actors? Man, it must have taken Darren maybe a whole couple hours out of an afternoon to put together this piece. He really got to work. He was fucking sweating out there for this one. Probably his most difficult project yet, coming up with the right sentences to plug into the AI video generation tools he was using. Oh my god, it just looks terrible. I don't know how anyone could have so little taste that they'd actually think that this looks good. You'd have to be some kind of ghoul, some kind of like actual NPC to find an appreciation for garbage like this. It looks like a YouTube short that was just farted out from those AI slop channels. Or better yet, it looks like something your grandmother would repost on Facebook thinking that it's real, like dragons that have been discovered recently or something. It's so bad. And the fact that they're using like SAG affiliated voice actors for it is so obviously just trying to mitigate the backlash they knew they were going to get had they just used AI voices as well, which I imagine they planned on doing initially, but someone spoke up saying, no, let's just hire some voice actors to just lazily do this real quick for cheap. Just so that way they could say, like, oh no, it's not fully AI, like we have, some SAG voice actors in it. Come on, guys, this is very much a human passion project. We're just using Gen AI as a tool for us to get creative. Skin crawling.
There is no way but forward.
We are now the troops of the United Colonies of North America.
For the purpose of establishing...
So, take a peek at this new nation that was born. Amerid. Yep. Perfect. On this day, 1776, the nation of Amerid was formed. Yeehaw. How could anyone think this was a good idea? Especially someone like Darren Aronofsky. What the fuck happened to you, man? What? I don't understand how you go from so many good movies to now just peddling AI slop. What a disgusting career pivot. Holy Toledo, heavens to Betsy.
An independent empire. Who are you? Massachusetts!
That's not surrender.
I really don't understand why they keep stressing, experience it like you've never seen before. And then it's the most just generic garbage ever. It is AI. You are using Gen AI here. By its very existence, it means that we have seen it millions of times before because the AI has been trained on it millions of times before. So you are only seeing regurgitated garbage in the first place that is stealing from previous works to do this. This is exactly what we have seen before. The only difference is now there's no human beings involved in it at all, aside from like Darren Aronofsky just chopping away at his keyboard for a couple of minutes here, typing in some prompts. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is nothing exciting. It's nothing new. It's the laziest, cheapest form of movie making or, I guess shorts producing possible. It doesn't get worse than this. I then saw this statement from Time Studios president Ben Bitanti. This project is a glimpse at what thoughtful, creative, artist-led use of AI can look like, not replacing craft, but expanding what's possible and allowing storytellers to go places they simply couldn't before. What is Ben Titty talking about? Going places they haven't been able to go before? Where's that? In a place with snow and houses? That's all that's in the trailer. Or they're inside of the building signing the birth of the new nation, Amerid. If you're standing up, you need to sit down for this blast of cold water. You can make the inside of a building right now. It's a set that's been done millions of times. What the fuck are you talking about? Where in this trailer did they venture into the unknown that was previously inaccessible to human beings? I am stunned. I'm confused. What are you talking about, Ben? AI didn't go anywhere new or creative here in this trailer. It's the same path that's been walked millions of times before with very similar locations that have been used by real people in real places, but now it just looks like shit with Gen AI. This is just blatantly lying. The only thing this technology does is allow people like Ben in studios and people like Darren now, I guess, to produce trash like this for extremely cheap. So they're able to just pump these out lickety-split for basically pennies. And he's calling it artist-led AI usage, you know, using AI as a tool and whatever, but that's just baloney. They had like some SAG voice actors come in to record some really, you know, quick lines, and then apparently they had like human post-production on this, which I'll take their word for it. They did a terrible job, but I guess they used humans to, you know, color grade it and shit. But overall, this is not artist-led AI usage. This is a proof of concept that they can just squeak out the cheapest generated AI garbage imaginable, and people will still sit down to watch it if they attach a beloved director's name to it. I hope this flops. I hope this fails so fucking hard Darrenofsky struggles to land any directorial roles in the future. This is actually just that catastrophic. Him putting his name on this, and this whole production here is truly awful. Actually terrible, and sets a horrible precedent for the future of filmmaking or TV show producing. It sucks. It is here to replace the craft, so that way it's cheaper for the bottom line of the vampires at the top of the food chain that control these industries. That is the whole purpose of it. There is nothing creatively new in this trailer. It's only cheap. That's it. I don't know why he's trying to say and convince people that there was, you know, so much new things here that we couldn't do without the use of AI. That's just blatantly false. What, people in costumes? We've never done that before? Someone that looks like Ben Franklin? What, we've never had a makeup artist before make someone look like Ben Franklin? And the locations are very much easily accessible locations or sets that could be built and have been built numerous times. It's all a lie for the sake of trying to normalize AI productions like this so that way they can feel more confident replacing more and more jobs in the creative sector if this succeeds. Because if this can just even somewhat make a little bit of money, it proves that people will just stomach anything. So then what the fuck is the point in hiring, you know, actors to play these characters when they'll just have AI spit it out for them in an afternoon for nothing? It sucks. It actually super sucks. And I had to make fun of it. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to yap on it. That's it. Yep. Barbecue chicken alert. Barbecue chicken alert. We got another classic YouTube blunder here. I imagine some of you might have seen a little bit from this, but there are tons and tons of channels on the platform being banned left and right. Very loosey-goosey here, and it seems to be AI moderation tools that YouTube uses going rogue. The ghost in the machine here. I just got made aware of this, and it seems like one of the first people to experience this, Patient Zero, was a YouTuber named Enderman, who is a tech channel.
The reason being, my secondary channel has been terminated off of YouTube, as you can see. And obviously I can do nothing about this. We're going to submit the appeal together and see how far it gets us now. The reason for this happening is AI. It wrongfully concluded my channel was associated with a channel that was terminated for 3 copyright strikes.
If we look at what Enderman has provided here, the reason for the termination here is this linked channel, which is a Japanese channel that is in no way actually associated with Enderman at all. It feels like it's a big old boo-boo here from the AI moderation tools, and he is not the only channel that experienced this. There were a few other notable examples of channels also being linked to this Japanese channel falsely, and thus having their channel terminated as a result. It's anyone's guess why. Maybe that Japanese channel is like a yawn, and it's just contagious, and now it's spreading across YouTube, where for some reason on the back end, the AI has had a fucking conniption here and is associating like tons of channels on YouTube with that account and then just immediately banishing them to the Shadow Realm, which in and of itself is a huge problem because why is there no human being coming to review a channel termination? Why would AI have that ability? Why would it be given that much unrestricted power and authority where it could not only flag these channels for being linked to this channel, but then also ban them for it without a human being ever stepping in? That's very concerning because there is clearly a lot of wiggle room for errors with AI moderation. And it's not just with this linked channel epidemic here. We're going to get into a couple other examples, and of course we've already seen some in the past with it just kind of freaking out and going like bananas, actually just going ballistic for no reason. But in classic YouTube fashion, appeals are more useless than the hairs on my ass. So Enderman even made a video doing the appeals, which of course led to no results, which unfortunately is par for the course. I feel like I can count on one hand the amount of times in my own personal experience too that appeals have ever led to anything. Like, I've never even really heard whispers of someone having a successful appeal on my entire 18, 19, whatever-ish years on YouTube. It feels like that system just doesn't work. That's just all smoke and mirrors. Like, maybe the appeal system is there kind of as like an internal joke at the YouTube HQ. Like, the appeals, once you finish filling them out, what it actually does is just print out a piece of paper that goes straight into the trash can at the YouTube HQ. Like, I don't even know what it's there for. It never actually leads to anything that I've ever experienced, nor ever heard of. It is truly just like, you do this only to reaffirm that a human being is not looking at it, or if they are, they're not actually giving a fuck and just maintaining the original ruling that may be incorrect. In this case, being linked to a Japanese YouTube channel that was terminated long ago. This kind of thing would take someone actually 4 seconds to realize it's a mistake. This is a big ol' whoops-a-daisy. But since the appeal system needs a drastic overhaul, it is just archaic, and I truly think that it might just not even function the way it's advertised. It didn't work for any of these channels that were experiencing this termination, this wrongful termination. So they did the only recourse they could. Make noise on Twitter. That, and I've said this for years, that is the only way to get actual YouTube help here, it seems, for most channels on the platform, is to go make a big hoopla, big stink about it on Twitter or any other social media, because then they actually do see it, and then a human being does actually step in, and it takes them a very short amount of time to fix it. In this case, it did get solved. Enderman did get his channel back. Both of his channels got reinstated. It was very clearly a mistake that this happened in the first place, and the second a human being actually is alerted to it and does take the time to take a peek, it's pretty quickly resolved. But there's a couple of problems here. One, AI should not have the ability to ban channels. That is a big no-no. I think that is going to lead to catastrophic results in the future. We're already seeing some inklings here of that, being the dystopia we're heading towards. Like, you do not want to just let AI be the one to ban channels. A human being should always be included in the mega mix when it comes to that decision, without fail, period. Like, there should never be any reason AI can do that. And two, something's got to be done about the appeal system. It has got to be updated. Like, it has got to get better. This is it's just crazy that it's 2025 and the appeals still just don't actually work. Because, again, look, Enderman and many others did make a lot of noise on Twitter. Someone at Team YouTube saw it, took them, a handful of hours maybe, and then reinstated both channels because they were very quick to realize, yeah, this is a mistake. Why didn't that happen with appeals? Appeals, when you submit them, it's like a matter of minutes where they're like, no, it's rejected. Yeah, we re-reviewed everything. Yeah, you're super wrong. You're a fucking idiot. Actually, you're super ugly as well, by the way. Did we mention that? Rejected. We're maintaining the original fucking ruling. Like, it's obvious that no one actually looked at it. So, especially when it's like long-form videos, you'll submit an appeal for a video that's like an hour and a half long, and you'll get a response from YouTube on the re-review in like 15 minutes about like how you're stupid for even trying to appeal it. So yeah, that needs to be changed. That's two big problems. But this isn't the only instance of channels being banned willy-nilly recently. There's been a lot going on when it comes to channel terminations that don't make a ton of sense. Now, from what I've seen, a lot of these have been reinstated since this has become a big issue that a lot of people are talking about now, because it is concerning why so many channels are getting kind of banned out of nowhere for seemingly nothing. Literally nothing when it comes to like this linked channel thing that was happening. Like, some of these terminations aren't even because of like a misunderstanding of the content they were producing. It was something that they did, like, literally was not even associated with anything about their channel and still getting terminated. So it's caused a lot of alarm from people on the YouTube platform. And from what I've seen, some of them have been reinstated, but not all of them. There's also been a lot of bans for like this really weird enforcement of YouTube policies that don't really seem to apply. The big one has been like scams and deceptive practices, which I think right now is out of control on YouTube with ads. Like, the biggest culprit of scams and deceptive practices are YouTube's own ads. I just made a video going over many of the AI ads on YouTube that are peddling legitimately fake products. Fraudulent advertising is plaguing the platform. That and like AI porn shit and like a lot of weird things have been advertised on YouTube directly that are very much against YouTube's own terms when it comes to scams and deceptive practices. But those don't seem to be getting hit nearly as much as just channels that aren't actually promoting scams or deceptive practices. It's just really ass backwards right now. And I was reading from the community with some other channels. A lot of them were tech-based, where they were like showcasing different things in the tech sector that maybe the AI moderation tool was getting confused by, thinking that they were trying to promote workarounds for certain things, and they just immediately slapped them down for it. I don't know. But either way, it is a problem. There, under no circumstances, should be the possibility for AI to just ban a channel, like outright. Even if a channel is in violation of rules and AI moderation tools flag it internally, a human being needs to be involved in this conversation about whether or not that channel needs to be banned. It should not be the AI that's the judge, jury, and executioner on it. That is a big problem, and one that is highlighted big time with this wave of bans hitting the platform. So yeah, I wanted to yap about this for a little bit. It seems like it's getting resolved slowly but surely, and I really hope YouTube learns from this and improves their systems, appeals, and getting rid of this immense power that they're lending to AI. Unchecked power, unlimited power. That's concerning. Anyway, though, that's really about it. Hopefully everyone else that's been, like, falsely flagged and terminated or got a strike or something, hopefully all of that gets resolved as well going forward. Hopefully it won't take too much longer. And yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Trump Mobile, the golden Trump phone, supposed to come out 2025 of summer. So now the beginning of 2026, still no phone, still no pickles. And you might hear the little Banjo-Kazooie backing track right now to this video. It's because I'm on hold with Trump Mobile support to check on my pre-order to see what's gone so awry that the phone still hasn't arrived.
The Trump family's attempt to launch a new smartphone is off to a rough start. You may remember back in June, Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. announced the launch of a new American-made mobile phone along with a wireless service they called Trump Mobile. The release was originally slated to happen in August, but now it's November and people are still waiting.
I've tried to get a hold of Trump Mobile's customer support for a little while now, a couple days, to no avail. So now I'm just on hold waiting to see what's going on with it. Because, I mean, it's, you know, the Made in America, well, scratch that, they actually got rid of that. It's no longer Made in America. They don't claim that it's an American-made phone anymore. It's just a proudly American phone, according to their website now that they've updated. And for $500, it was a really, like, great deal, which defied all laws of physics and everything we knew about manufacturing to get a phone to that level. Every single human being on the planet with a functioning frontal lobe could have told you there's no way to make a $500 phone in America. So now they've abandoned that marketing mumbo-jumbo entirely. Oh, I thought I was about to get a hold of someone there, but that happens a lot. It starts to like break up because there's only one song that they loop forever and they can't even do that smoothly. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to see what's going on with Trump Mobile, because the phone still hasn't been delivered. There's no signs of life. There's no pulse at that company, if the company even exists in the first place. I'm starting to get skeptical now. And yeah, I'll just keep you updated as I continue to stay on hold endlessly in this fucking void, this purgatory that they've locked me in here. Alright, let's try again. Yesterday they were closed, so this is right in business hours and business time.
Thank you for calling Trump Mobile. For English, press 1. Para Español, oprima el número 2. Press 1 to open a new Trump Mobile account. Otherwise, press 2 for support with an existing Trump Mobile account. Thank you for calling Trump Mobile. Your call is very important to us. To ensure the highest level of customer care, this call may be recorded for quality control and training purposes. Please hold, and our next available representative will be with you shortly. You can also visit our website at www.trumpmobile.com to apply for a new account or access your personal account portal.
Hey, I just wanted to check on the status of my pre-order.
I'll be more than happy to go ahead and assist you, ma'am. Please have the telephone number your account is under.
Now, interestingly enough, I gave them a bunch of phony baloney information. Like, the email and phone number I gave them are not associated with any Trump phone or Trump mobile pre-orders, yet somehow they found my account. I don't understand how, because it's not registered under anything I provided, but just in case that does end up being someone's actual phone number, I'm not going to put that clip in here, but what I gave them is not tied to a pre-order because, shocker, I didn't put $100 down on the Trump phone, but somehow they were able to locate my account.
So, due to the government shutdown, there were some delays with the delivery process. Everyone who pre-ordered the T1 phone has secured their order for the phone. So what we're doing is that we are sending out the phones priority shipping. Soon as shipment resumes, everyone who did pre-order the phone will receive a confirmation email once the phones have been shipped out.
Okay, wait. I mean, it was supposed to come out in the summer, though. That was before the government shut down. I thought there was just some kind of...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying I was expecting it in the summer of 2025 when the shutdown wasn't till after that. I guess I'm just a little confused on how that affected the manufacturing.
Well, the phone was scheduled to come out in December, which is around the time that the government shutdown did happen. And like I said, the reason why it was delays on it was because we needed to get the approval from the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, before releasing the phones. And so that's why we are doing priority shipping to get the phones out to the customers as soon as possible.
Is there a time I should be expecting it? Like, is there an ETA?
As of right now, we don't have like an exact time frame. We were just told just to update the customers. Once shipment resumes, we will be communicating with all of our customers via email.
Okay, well, but I'm sorry for the skepticism. I'm just getting a little concerned because it's been a while. The phone is real though, right? Have you, you've held one?
Honestly, me myself, I have not actually held one in my hands, but they are real. You can also go to our website at trumpmobile.com, and like I said, it does have all the information about the phone as well.
Well, yeah, I see it on the site. It's just me and my family were kind of expecting it by now. Do you know anyone that has held one? Like, do you know anyone that's using one currently or anything like that?
I'm going to be honest with you. No, because like I said, everyone pre-ordered the phone, has not gotten their phone as of yet. So, from my knowledge that I know of, no one has received their T1 phone as of yet. And we know that, like I said, the customers haven't, been waiting on it, and we do value our customers. And like I said, that's why we are trying to, expedite the process to get the phones out as soon as possible.
Okay, well, I appreciate the honesty. I guess I'll just sit tight then until I get that email. I really appreciated how honest this guy was. It would have been super easy to say, oh yeah, I'm actually holding a Trump phone right now. But he didn't do that. He just said, yeah, I've never held one. I don't know anyone that ever has. I appreciate that he was willing to be that open. He seems like a good guy. And I imagine they're probably getting flooded with actual customers being very concerned where their phone is because they've actually put money on it. And it's not like it's an insignificant amount of money. $100 for a phone that was supposed to ship like 5, almost 6 months ago now. And when you go to the website, they still proudly say that it's coming out by the end of the year, which was 2025. That year is now past. That year's in the books now. It's done and dusted. And they still have it on their website that if you're pre-ordering now, you are going to be getting it by the end of the year. 2025 is the assumption because it's been there since 2025. It's pretty absurd. In fact, when you go to their website, you can still put the $100 down to this day, despite there being no evidence of the phone's existence, not even from customer support. You can still put $100 to the idea of the golden Trump phone, despite no planned or expected release date or anything to bring further clarity to the whereabouts of this unicorn they're calling the Trump phone.
An American flag on the back, and so we put that pre-order, and they were promising that these phones would be released in August. Here we are in November. I've been trying to get out to the call center every few weeks and say, hey, what's the update? And I've been perpetually told it's going to be released at the end of this month. It's going to come out next month. When I would ask about reasons for the delay, they didn't have much to answer for except for that they were working on this phone. At one point, they even blamed it on the government shutdown, interestingly. But again,
his findings are similar to mine. The support did say it's because of the government shutdown. I guess a very convenient excuse if you ignore the fact that it was supposed to come out before the government shutdown. Support then, of course, just doing his job. It's not like I blame him or anything. Is saying, no, it was actually supposed to come out in December, which isn't really the case. But even then, it's past December and everything like that. The government shutdown, it's in the past now. Where's the phone? It's January. This segment was from November. Like, it just doesn't seem like it's real. It doesn't seem like it actually exists. And I think a lot of people that put the $100 down have probably forgotten they've done that. They probably forgot that Trump even has this Trump phone that he pitched because he is hawking so many products to enrich himself and his family. He has like actually over 200 like fucking pieces of merch, the Trump cologne, the Trump Bible. Like, he has so much garbage that he is putting out there that a lot of things like this just fall through the cracks and people just mindlessly giving him money. They probably forgot about this. But you still haven't received what you were supposed to with your $100 down. You have still not gotten any information on where your Trump phone is. That should be something that's pretty eye-opening to a lot of people, but I'm sure they'll just hand-wave it. No, it's so highly advanced and such powerful American-made technology here that it's just taking a little extra time, which is why they can't actually explain anything. That's what's going on here. When the reality is, they can't make that phone for what they were saying. Like, you could probably go to Temu and start drop shipping a golden Trump phone, I guess, but their initial claims were that it was American made, and even on their website, they still have like the nomenclature that tries to mislead people into thinking it's American made by saying it touches American hands during production, as opposed to being entirely American made, because you cannot make that here for that price. You can't. You literally cannot. So it is going to be probably made in China, and if it ever comes out, will not be what it was advertised as, if it ever comes out at all.
Even a phone being made in the U.S.? Do we know? And I know you've been looking at their website and noting that there are some changes there.
Yeah, so again, this was branded as a made in the USA phone. In fact, they said so on their website. But interestingly, as I've been trying to follow the development of this phone, they tweaked the wording on their website. And now the mention of the made in the USA is completely scrubbed. You can see the original image on the top there. It says in that text, made in the USA T1 phone. And now all it says is, you want to be the first one with the new T1? Here's how. Elsewhere on the website, they describe it as an American proud design. And
January 2026 checking in, it's still in that state. They are, like I said, trying to wash away that initial claim of being like entirely made in the US because, as he goes on to mention, it's just not technically possible to make that kind of device in the States here at that price point and at that development timeline. It's just not possible, which is why it's no longer there. But the phone still doesn't exist, so they're still, I don't know, having a hard time developing it overseas too. I thought for sure they would have just farted out something very quick from like Alibaba and called it the Trump one, just to like satisfy the people that gave him money, which is no doubt a lot of people. I think it was hundreds of thousands of people pre-ordered the Trump one, like the Trump phone. And they are still getting nothing. There's still nothing there with no answers and no expectation on when it's arriving. So, just wanted to give you a little check-in here in case you forgot about the Trump phone. It's not looking good. I'm sorry to tell you, sports fans, but it's looking like you got schmeckeldorfed. That's really about it. So yeah. I think it was like 2 years ago or something like that, I made a video spitting on those degenerate parasites that would go live on TikTok with videos, not actually live streams. They would have pre-recorded videos that they loop that aim to deceive children into giving them money or interacting with the stream, like spam emojis or spam galaxies, or else I'm gonna press this button. It's the boogeyman's cell phone. He's coming right to your house to fuck your mother. Yeah, quick, it's about to be game over. Or even more egregious, they say things like, the first person to donate 5 schmoobles, send me 6 ice creams, is going to get 10 billion V-Bucks, that kind of thing, and it actually works. Not the getting V-Bucks thing, don't get it twisted. The scamming children thing. Deceiving them, misleading them into giving you money because they go grab their parents' credit card like, oh my goodness, what a deal, punching in those wacky numbers in there. And they don't realize that it's not actually a live stream. They're not actually going to get anything. What happens is they keep looping it for a while, then they take the stream down, then they start it up again a little bit later to get a whole new batch of suckers. And rinse and repeat. That's something that's been going on TikTok for a long time, but it now has infested YouTube as well, which I knew about, but I haven't yapped about it in a while because I got a very doomer attitude about it, how there's nothing you can do because YouTube isn't cracking down on it, even though it's a clear violation of their policies. But now it finally seems like they are. Jax Films just made a video going over this as well. I highly recommend you check out the whole thing. I'm going to show you bits and pieces of it.
You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? So what you're looking at are 4 YouTube channels live streaming at the same time, except they're not actually live. Here, pay attention to the second video on the left and see if you can spot anything weird. Guys, 2 more seconds. Oh, just cut! Oh, tell me you saw the cut. That's right. These live streams are actually all looped, pre-recorded videos made to trick children into giving them money.
It really is such a shame that insufferable dweebs like this are no longer getting wedgies. Instead, now they get to just go endlessly scam children on these platforms without repercussions.
Press it right now if you want Robux and send me the laughing disco.
Anyone does a red super chat, you're gonna get 1,000,000 Robux right now, okay, bro?
Now, according to these gentlemen, this is all above board.
Yo, Jack, you need to stop trying to expose us, bro. Leave us alone.
We're not doing anything wrong, bro. We're not doing anything wrong.
It's fucking pathetic how you can actually hear the stupid in people's voices now. Like, there are people that are just observably stupid, and just in that one little brief clip there, I know for a fact that if you put the two of them together, they might not break double-digit IQ. They are just completely rotted. They grew up in this shit, they were molded by it, and they never broke out of it. They are just fucking perpetually stuck with baby brain. It is so sad. Like, I would feel bad for them if they weren't just scamming children. And make no mistake, they're not just harmlessly illiterate. They know what they're doing is wrong. They're just trying to cover their own ass. Now, a lot of them have deleted it and tried to scrub it from their pages, probably out of fear of some kind of consequences, because, like I said in the beginning, it looks like they actually are starting to crack down on this. What they're doing is not only a violation of this platform's terms and policies, it is full-blown illegal. It's fraud. You are fraudulently running these fake giveaways. So like that guy who's saying, first one to send a red super chat gets 1,000,000 V-Bucks. That is a crime. That is fraud. And contrary to what generic NPC broccoli hair goober straight off the galaxy gas tries to spit out there about how they're doing nothing wrong, they are doing something wrong. And they should be punished for it. Saying shit like, give me this galaxy, which is real money, by the way, and you'll get all these Robux pouring out of every orifice of your body, that kind of thing, and faking these live streams, looping this shit endlessly. That is fraudulent. It's fake giveaways. They don't actually give any of this away. If you do give them money, you don't get anything in return. In fact, you just get flexed on by them.
Guys, we are so sorry, guys. We all do the crocodile streams.
They actually thought this went hard, by the way. This lame garbage. This only further confirms my theory that there is a government lab out there that's churning out these NPCs as an experiment. They all have the same hairdo. They're basically the exact same copy and paste person here. I'm telling you, there's something fishy. I'm not trying to get conspiratorial, but there's something afoot. They got the damn Manhattan Project going on, shitting out these twerps. Also, why is that Disney Channel extra on the far left of that video half naked? Why does he have his whole chest out and rubbing it on the protagonist's chair? What the hell? What in tarnation?
And I noticed he happened to be live at the time. So I checked it out, and this is what it was.
And then I'm gonna click the green call button right now, live on stream, and I'm gonna call 911 right now, chat.
By the way, they never call 911. This is a very common tactic you'll see across a bunch of live streams. And the goal of this is to drive that viewer count up and keep the viewer's attention.
If you're following along with your thinking caps on, paying attention, you will also know that that is not live. It's again just a pre-recorded video. Jax Films shows you the cut. It's blatantly obvious. They're not very good at even making it appear to be live. They don't care because they haven't faced any punishment for it. So it is very sloppy and haphazardly thrown together. So he's got, you know, fucking emo Chucky Finster back there doing moves while pretending to, I'm about to call 911, everyone, I'm about to call 911. So the viewer number's going way up, and then it gets to the next phase of the scam where they tries to squeeze the kids for their lunch money.
I swear, I didn't edit this next part.
Right now, here we go. In 5, 4. Okay, let's choose another person for some Robux, guys. Who in the chat wants Robux right now? Everyone right now.
All of a sudden, we've taken a hard shift into the next phase of this scam, live stream. So first, he claims he'll give you Robux, the in-game currency for the popular video game Roblox. But then he says this.
Whoever is the first person to click the little gift box at the bottom right-hand corner, right there, and send me the laughing disco. Whoever is the first person to do that, I'm gonna pick you, and you're gonna be next.
You can send them little gifts that cost real-world money. And this laughing disco ball costs just south of $5.
This isn't just some free emoji, like you can put a fist bump in there or anything like that. It does cost just shy of 5 clams. So, if you send him about 5 clams, you get free Robux. That's right, this Whippets addict is gonna send you Robux. How cool is that?
So Joxy is saying that whoever sends him this disco ball thing will in return receive Robux. And look, it's working. These people in the live chat both sent him laughing discos. But then he says this.
Okay, skinny Gordra. Gordra.
Oh my god, he's such a bumbling, drooling idiot that it is painful. His illiteracy is making me sick. In his own scam, he couldn't even choose a name that he can pronounce, that he can read. He couldn't even fucking say the name in his own scam. And again, this isn't live either. This is looping. He doesn't ever send the Robux to anyone. So those 2 people that sent him the money, they get nothing. They fell victim to his scam.
Then I kept watching.
Guys, hurry up. Tell me your username in the chat right now. Okay, let's choose another person for some Robux.
Uh-oh.
Whoever is the first person to click the little gift box at the bottom right-hand corner, right there, and send me the laughing disco. Whoever is the first person to do that, I'm gonna pick you, and you're gonna be next. You're gonna be next. Okay, skinny Gordra. Gordra.
Somehow it's always that dastardly skinny Gordra, as he calls them, that keeps winning the Robux. How is he so quick with that emoji? How does he keep getting away with it?
Okay, you're getting Robux, skinny Gordra.
That's right. This loops over and over again. This live stream isn't live at all, but an edited loop meant to trick viewers with this false sense of urgency. Like, hurry, hurry, hurry. And as you can see, it kind of works. $10 here, $20 there. And he does this over and over and over again, multiple times a day, every day.
And wouldn't you know it, somehow, Skinny keeps winning. It's always that damn Skinny Gordra. How does he always win?
Oh, look, this one's live right now. Oh my god, it's the exact same scam we just saw on Joxy's channel. Quite literally the same video.
Whoever is the first person to click the little gift box at the bottom right-hand corner.
And it's not just on this one douchebag's channel, they do this across many. It's an entire network. So that same Joxy video is played on an entirely separate channel, the exact same video, again, trying to farm, trying to mislead children into tuning into the stream and then try and get them to like panic send money to try and win the Robux. But it's all just the same looped video. It's a fake live stream that is just, by every possible definition, a scam. And it should be treated as a serious one because they have made a sizable chunk of change from this. Like, even just during Jack's Films' following of these channels, they made a lot of money that he was able to watch unfold in front of them because it posts a message in the chat when someone does send them the money. And this isn't a donation, by the way. I know that's how they're going to try and loophole it, but it's not a donation because they are outright telling their viewers, if you send us this emoji, this is money, by the way, if you send us this money, you will get this item in return, whether it's Robux or V-Bucks. So they are paying you for that. I think that's how it should be treated. Of course, I'm not a fucking lawyer. I didn't pass the bar, but to me, that no longer constitutes a donation. They are giving you money under the pretense that you are giving them an item in return for that. So, in my little Neanderthal noodle here, to me, that is now wiping your whole bussy with the idea of it being a donation. It is now a transaction for an item that you are not delivering, that you never intended to deliver. Thus, fraud. So, I feel like this is a crime, should be treated as a crime, and they should be seriously punished for it. They have taken a lot of money from a lot of people over the course of however many months they've been running this scam.
If we click the little bio here, it says, this channel is owned by Joxy's management team. Joxy does not have access to the channel. Weird. It kind of reads like a disclaimer meant to distance the personality from the channel.
Man, you know what? I take it all back. These guys are slick. That was very smooth. Maybe they passed the bar. Wow, the way they were able to weasel themselves out of the accountability here. They don't own the channel. You can't hold Joxy responsible. He only makes all of the money from it. But he doesn't log in. This mystery person, the elusive man, logs in there. Fucking Slender Man is the one that actually controls the channel. They're the ones that are nefariously looping these pre-recorded videos that Joxy and all of his douchebag stupid associates make money on.
Well, let's take a look at his most recent video titled, We're So Sorry.
Hi guys.
We're so sorry.
We are so guys, we all do the crocodile streams. Guys, I'm gonna be honest. We might not be truthful with you guys.
Charming.
There are few things as cringe as people trying this hard. They are really doing all they can to look like they just don't care. They're just above it all. You guys are actually beneath us. We don't care. And Jiminy Christmas, someone needs to have an intervention with the pinstripe wearing wiffle ball superstar over there that is going plus ultra on the tryhard. He is biting his lower lip while flexing. The insecurity is so potent I can smell it through the computer screen. This is a DEFCON red alert insecure fucking meatball here. He is unironically doing the beach is that way. Beach is that way. Oh, no. I went back and watched it again, and I only just now noticed he doesn't even have a watch on. The others are flexing like some Temu drop-shipped whatever garbage, fucking whatever they got from Wish.com. He doesn't even have that much. He is actually just there with his shirt wide open and trying all that he can to strike muscle poses here. I guess you didn't get the memo. This was supposed to be like a fake I'm sorry, and he's treating it like he's doing a photo shoot for Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition or some shit. He's just constantly posing. Somehow, in this group of pathetic losers, he found a way to be the most cringe amongst all of them.
Predictably, Joxy's stream on the right eventually turned into the Robux grift. But what was really funny was when Bacon's stream did the exact same thing. And I was able to record my reaction live.
Okay, let's distribute this, guys. Someone in the chat.
Who wants some Robux, guys?
Yes! Yes! Holy shit. 2 scams. Don't worry, I checked. This footage also loops.
Unsurprisingly, this whole stalling thing to try and get a bunch of viewers in there while looping a stall video that never actually finishes whatever they say they're going to do, like with the crocodile tooth and the 911, usually transitions into them doing the Joxy thing, which is, okay, now we need money. So now give me money and you'll get Robux, V-Bucks, whatever. So in that one, Bacon buttfuck, whatever it is, I already forgot the guy's name, but his does the exact same thing. So clearly the goal is deceive a bunch of children, get them hooked on like, oh, he's gonna press the crocodile tooth, wow, and then it goes into, okay, now quickly you gotta give me money so that way you can earn some V-Bucks and Robux, that kind of thing. And it works. They are apparently making actual money from this. In Jack's Films video, if you watch the whole thing, which again I highly recommend you do, you can see a lot of people fall victim to it throughout the course of his video. They are giving them money for it.
Oh, they're doing it at the same time. I love it. Laughing disco, laughing disco. Give us laughing disco, and then we'll give you Robux.
Yo, Jack, you need to stop trying to expose us, bro. Leave us alone.
We're not doing anything wrong, bro. We're not doing anything wrong.
Oh, really?
What are you doing, bro? Come on. You gotta stop.
Quick. Everybody join the stream and say go.
Solid defense, fellas, but I don't think that will hold up in a court of law. Dude, that's so cool.
Oh shit, goofball got him. He rubbed his nipples at him while shirtless. He dunked on Jack there. This kind of behavior is actually baffling to me. Not the fact that they're all douchebags, that's very commonplace, especially with that hairstyle. It's the fact that they keep trying to look cool. And they believe that looking cool is being shirtless at all times. So like this guy standing up shirtless, rubbing his nipples at Jack. That is so embarrassing. Why are you doing that? Especially when you have a body that's built like a bag of milk. It looks like someone tried to draw Hank Hill's torso outline. There's not even the idea of muscle to be found on this guy's upper body. So why are you trying to like flex on him with a nipple rub? Like, what is that, man? I'll stop yapping about it. Again, I recommend going to watch Jack's full coverage of it. They've deleted most of this. They've tried to scrub its existence so that way they can avoid being punished for it, I think, since there has been somewhat of a crackdown on it. But there are still plenty of re-uploads and plenty of evidence to their wrongdoing here. Again, it is a scam. It should be treated as such. I believe there needs to be serious punishment. There needs to be a precedent set. Otherwise, just like all those degenerate pranks, it's going to continue to spiral out of control. More and more people are going to be doing this kind of thing, scamming through these fake live streams, and this shit just super sucks. Anyway, wanted to talk about this. That's about it. See ya. There are certain subjects I make a lot of content covering. There are just a handful of topics that always wiggle their way underneath my skin and grease my cheeks, and I can't fight the urge to yap about them, like a dog chasing a mailman just going around barking at it. And one of them, one of the biggest, is people using Christianity as a means to exploit and abuse others. Corrupt pastors that are using the faith as a tool for their own self-gain and self-interest. I find it to be vile, evil, and unforgivable. So over the years, I've made tons of videos covering these instances. And just a couple days ago, I made that video going over Robert Morris. This demon was the former spiritual advisor to Donald Trump. He was also a Texas megachurch turbo pastor who recently pled guilty to molesting a 12-year-old girl numerous times. And he only got 6 months in jail for this. He is now out of jail and will be serving the next 9.5 years on probation in his luxury property. Now, maybe you can call me short and ugly, but I gotta tell ya, I'll be honest with you sports fans, that doesn't sound like justice to me. That doesn't sound like punishment that fits the crime of molesting a 12-year-old girl numerous times. I feel like that should have been life in prison. But he got 6 months. I already blabbered about that out the wazoo, and I'm not here to just do it again. I wanted to do something a little different, because Robert Morris was Trump's former spiritual advisor. I want to show you his current spiritual advisor, because I truly think this administration is normalizing the epidemic of fake Christians that are just using the faith as a tool for their own enrichment. I believe it is full-blown, fucking full frontal, dangling right in your face, obvious blasphemy. It's not subtle, it's unapologetic. I mean, Jiminy Christmas, Trump was hawking and is still actively hawking Trump Bibles. Expensive Bibles for like 60 clams with Trump's name on them and numerous variants of it. They range in price from $60 up to $1,000, and also a little fun tiddlywink of lore here, they're printed in China. So they're made for less than $3 per Bible, yet he jacks the price up to $60 for the lowest plebeian edition of his Bible. But it goes all the way up to $1,000 for the one that has Trump's signature on the inside cover. Like, I just don't know how that's defensible from any real Christians. That is just completely unacceptable. These frauds worship Trump more than God. It's like textbook idolatry with the way they talk about and discuss Trump. Like, Nicki Minaj is a great example. She's a wonderful case study for this. She spent a significant amount of time squatting on top of the orb of confusion and debasing herself publicly, slurping for this administration, and eventually got in their good graces and received a Donald Trump signed Holy Bible, calling it one of the most meaningful gifts she's ever received. Which is ridiculous, because Nicki Minaj has been very vocal about her faith in recent time. And I feel like anyone who is legitimately very proud of their faith as a Christian would receive a gift like that and be disgusted. There are some Bibles that get signed by like a pastor or someone who is genuinely in the faith and an active community member in Christianity in the local churches. That is something that I am very familiar with. That was something that I had seen when I was going to church, but they weren't sold. They were given to members of the congregation, and it was always just like, enjoy your Bible, or like, I hope I hope this resonates with you, and then signed by the pastor. This is Donald Trump planting his fucking name on top of the Holy Bible, literally going through the word Bible with his signature, making it seem as though he's the most important part of this gift, not the Bible itself, and yet Nicki Minaj is like, oh my god, it's amazing. Nicki Minaj, by the way, whose husband is a registered sex offender, and her older brother is in the slammer serving 25 to life for sexually assaulting an 11-year-old child. Now, I'm not here just to talk about the Trump Bible. Like I said, I want to focus on his current spiritual advisor, Paula White, because I think she is the perfect example of this phenomenon and is serving to normalize this practice.
Wherever I go, God rules. When I walk on White House grounds, God walks on White House grounds. I had every right and authority to declare the White House as holy ground because I was standing there, and where I stand is holy.
To say no to President Trump would be saying no to God. And I won't do that.
This is a montage that kind of blew up a few months ago. A lot of people have seen this, and it shows some of Paula White Kane's more recent highlights about how she can declare the White House as holy ground because she walked there and God walks with her. And also, she proudly proclaims that saying no to Trump would be like saying no to God, and she's never going to do that. I had the longer section saved, but now that video's taken down, so I can't show you the whole context of that statement, but from what I recall, she was talking about how Trump has basically been chosen by God, so when Trump asked her, to come aboard, saying no to Trump in that position would have been like saying no to God, which she refuses to do. That is an outrageous thing to say. That is genuinely, by all possible definitions and interpretations, blasphemous. To say that kind of statement about saying no to a man is like saying no to God, you are putting that person on this pedestal that they are equal to God. That is like a big no-no in the faith. It's fucking unhinged. And yet, nobody calls her out on that in the administration. All of these supposed Christians have no problem with her saying things like that and acting this way. It's baffling. Well, it's actually not baffling when you stop to realize that none of them actually care about Christianity. They are using it. To them, it is nothing more than a tool to be utilized to get people latched onto their bosom. Because if they can convince people that what they're doing is righteous and chosen by God, then people would be afraid to go against it, thinking that they have to fall in line, otherwise they've deviated from the path of the Lord. That's their whole tactic. That is the playbook that they're using. It is sickening. And it's working for them. It's working extremely well for them. Like just yesterday, Paula White had this to say about President Trump and his experience and how similar it is to our Lord and Savior.
But the truth of it is you are here because of God and because of you. And I just wanted to share this thought and pray over President Trump. Jesus taught us so many lessons through his death, burial, and resurrection. He showed us great leadership. Great transformation requires great sacrifice. And Mr. President, no one has paid the price like you have paid the price. It almost cost you your life. You were betrayed and arrested and falsely accused. It's a familiar pattern that our Lord and Savior showed us. But it didn't end there for him, and it didn't end there for you. God always had a plan. On the third day, he rose, he defeated evil, he conquered death, hell, and the grave. And because he rose, we all know that we can rise. And sir, because of his resurrection, you rose up. Because he was victorious, you were victorious. And I believe that the Lord said to tell you this. Because of his victory, you will be victorious in all you put your hand to.
Comparing Trump's journey to that of Jesus Christ. Wow. Powerful stuff, Paula. You know, when you put it that way, and I really stopped to marinate and stew, giving it a lot of thought, I actually think that my life's journey is pretty similar to that of Master Chief's. Huh. Isn't that some shit? Now, I know I've mentioned this a couple times in the past when covering people like Paula. I am not as spiritual as I used to be. Growing up, I was very, very religious. As I said, I got baptized twice because I was concerned that God may have been AFK for the first one, and I wanted to make sure that, you know, he had front row seats and popcorn ready for the second one, just in case. So I came in there with the round 2 for the Jumbotron. It was a huge part of my life. And even though I'm not as spiritual now as I was then, I still care deeply for it. And seeing that this is becoming so common now is just gross. It's so fucking abhorrent. Paula White Cain is a televangelist demon. Her whole career is built off of begging for money from her followers. And she still actively does that while being the spiritual advisor to Donald Trump. In fact, her 2026 Unleashed conference, she had this wonderful moment.
Because I'm telling you, there's an anointing of release right now. I want $100,000 to come in. I want $100,000. There are 10 people that could give $10,000. There's 100 people that could give $1,000.
How selfless, how noble. She wants $100,000. Fork it over. Cough it up, guys. Where's the $100,000? I know I said that she begs for money, but it's actually more accurate to say that she demands money. And she tries to present it as though if you don't give money to her, you are doing a disservice in the eyes of the Lord. This is a common tactic used by televangelists that have done this for many, many moons now, but very few of them have the same kind of power and influence that Paula White Cain does. One notable person that I'm sure a lot of you have heard of, and someone that I've made a couple videos on, is Kenneth Copeland. He is the guy who's very open about like how important it is that he has his private jet. So keep giving him money. He's the pastor and the Lord needs him to have a private jet, so give him money. Paula White Cain is cut from that same cloth. She is still actively doing this and demanding money from people in her church, and it is just disgusting.
Get a check, make it payable to Paula White Ministry. There are people that are watching right now. If you say, I don't have it, give $100. Bring up a sacrificial seed. This isn't for me. This is about kids that will die without you being obedient. This is about kids who are going to be minstrels and instruments and warriors and mighty for God. This is about kids who are going to make a difference. I'm not going to take everybody's blessing. Come on. I'm going to tell you, get a seed of sacrifice. There's only 3 envelopes. I'm not moving. I'm not going to lay hands on people till you're obedient. Get out of your seat. Come on and come bring up a seed. Because I'm telling you, there's an anointing of release right now. I want $100,000.
She says verbatim that there are kids that will die without you being obedient and giving her money. Oh no, the money is not about me. It's about these kids. We need the $100,000 now. If you can't afford that, you know, the $1,000, then give $100. You gotta give something. If you don't give something, you're a bad person for it. You don't want to be a bad person, do you? Well, come give Paula White Cain some money. It is something that she has done her whole life.
And I believe that when you honor God on Passover, starting on April 12th at sundown through Good Friday on the 18th and concluding on Easter Sunday, you can receive these 7 supernatural blessings for you and your house. According to Exodus 23, God will assign an angel to you. He'll be an enemy to your enemies. He'll give you prosperity. He'll take sickness away from you. He will give you long life. He'll bring increase in inheritance, and he'll give a special year of blessing. You're not doing this to get something, but you're doing it in honor to God, realizing what you can receive.
For your special Passover offering of $1,000 or more as the Holy Spirit leads, you will also receive the beautiful 10-inch Waterford Crystal Cross. Don't miss your moment to release 7 supernatural blessings and provision into your life.
That's right, you heard it here first. God can take your sickness away, but only if you send $1,000 to Paula White Kane first. Paula will get God on the horn and ensure that you receive these 7 blessings, but it's going to require $1,000, which is chump change compared to what you'll receive for it. It's transactional, so donate $1,000 to Paula White and receive these 7 blessings to save your life and increase your life, and also get this specialty cross. I'm confident that the people that followed Paula and Trump, and when they talk about how he's like Jesus and saying no to Trump is like saying no to God, I'm very certain these individuals have never read the Bible at all. Probably have never opened the Bible, and they just bite on to their words and accept them as truth, and that Paula and Trump are infallible because they are chosen by God. But if you ever decide to actually read the Bible yourself, you're going to see a lot of what they are demonstrating is directly frowned upon in the Bible. Most notably, Matthew 21:12. This gets brought up a lot in regards to frauds like Paula. This is when Jesus enters the temple and drives out all those who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the benches of those selling doves. He declared to them, "It is written, my house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers." And depending on the versions, it changes a little bit, but the message is always the same. Jesus throws out those who use his temple as a means of profiting off of others instead of a house of worship. That is exactly what Paula and many others in this administration explicitly do, blatantly. It is corrupt, it is completely unacceptable, and unfortunately is being normalized, and it shouldn't be. So I really wanted to yap about Paula here, and yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. I'm making fun of the Starbucks CEO because he recently defended the absurd price tag, the $9 cup of joe, and then talked about how customers are willing to shell out that premium because it's a great experience. It's all about a great seat and making a great connection with your barista. Basically, you're going to fall in love with your barista and it's worth every goddamn penny. Now, the reason why I've just given you that like AI synopsis right there on what this video is going to be about is because I don't know how much of the actual interview I can use here because it's the Wall Street Journal, and historically the Wall Street Journal is like a fucking cartel when it comes to anything that it produces. Or even if I've shown you like a clip from something in the Wall Street Journal, I've gotten in trouble in the past for it. Even if it's like a 5 or 10 second clip, they've come at me looking for fucking scalp. They'd be plucking my teeth out of my mouth until I apologized. Like, I do not fuck with the Wall Street Journal. Like, they've done great reporting, I get that, but any time that I've tried to opine on something that's been broken by the Wall Street Journal, I am very prohibited in what I'm allowed to show you, so instead we're going to be looking at like a transcript, and maybe I'll jump scare you with like split seconds of this CEO talking in the interview and see how that goes. So yesterday, the Starbucks CEO, Brian Buttfuck My Wallet, went on to defend the company's $9 cup of coffee, insisting that the price reflects a premium experience offered to customers. He also was recently granted access to the company jet for personal travel, which is a nice little tiddlywink of information I didn't know about, so thanks to the article here for enlightening me on that, because he definitely deserves it. Brian needs to be traveling luxuriously, and he's doing the Lord's work out there. He's delivering mediocre coffee to every sucker out there willing to fork over all the clams for it. He also said that customers across all income levels are willing and happy to shell out big money for a chance to interact with baristas or score a great seat inside the chain. This article is kind of underselling how he portrays that. If I could show you more of the video, I would. But I'm going to drop that little bit and hope that it's okay. I mean, it's going to be less than 3 seconds. I feel like there's no fucking argument Wall Street Journal could make to take down this video, but I guess we'll see. I think it's important you hear it right from his lips.
That value is to be able to have a great seat, have a great moment of connection with a barista.
Son of a bitch, I tried everything, but I couldn't get it to 3 seconds. It's 4.5, but it's under 5, so I should be safe. I should be protected. I don't think they can roll up with the goddamn Pinkertons for me showing 4 seconds here at the very end of the interview. At least of this segment of the interview. So he's talking about the value you get, about the great seat, which I will slam my fist on the desk and shout, objection. What great seat? It's fucking Starbucks. It's like the most sterile, generic environment you can ever find yourself in. You sit down in a swamp-ass throne and you maybe tinker away on your laptop or something while drinking some mid-ass coffee. What great seat are you talking about here, Brian? And I can't make a lot of promises to you about what you'll encounter in your life, but I can make one promise that I know 100% with certainty will never happen, and that's you forming a special connection with your barista over going to Starbucks and getting yourself a coffee. That doesn't happen. I don't know what he's talking about. Do they have like intimacy coordinators on staff at Starbucks where they try and like get the baristas excited to maybe fall in love with a customer or something after serving a pumpkin spice latte? I doubt it. They are workers looking to just do their job and go about their day. Not be bothered, not be harassed, and not have this expectation that a customer is going to come in there and form some kind of special connection because the CEO said so. That doesn't happen. It will never happen. I don't know what he's talking about. This guy must have just fucking did some ayahuasca or something. This is some baloney. And also, Brian looks AI generated. I know that is low-hanging fruit as a critique, but literally this guy looks AI generated. He has like that blurry-ass zoom background there, and he himself pops like a Pixar character. This shit doesn't look real. Brian looks like a fake human being. Anyway, out of fear, I'm not going to show you any more from the actual interview, but Brian does go on to drop some premium nuggets. What we're seeing is people, they want to have a special experience, and regardless of what your income level is, in some cases, a $9 experience does feel like you're splurging. And then what that means is we have to make it worthwhile, right? And then in other cases, people believe, well, this is really affordable premium experience, because they're saying like, well, it's less than $10 and I get a really premium experience. I don't know what dimension this guy lives in, but it's so detached from reality. Out of touch doesn't even begin to encompass this. This is just like actual mental illness. This is delusional. He needs to be institutionalized. He needs to be medicated. What is Goober even yapping about? What premium experience? Every Starbucks is exactly the same. They're copy and paste. It's a place where joy goes to die. I wonder if you can tell that I'm not the biggest fan of Starbucks. I wonder if that's coming through loud and clear. I have never had a positive experience at one. The food is at best. I'm not a coffee drinker already, so they have nothing to offer me, and every time I've tried coffee from there, it's even worse than other coffees I've tried elsewhere. There's nothing premium about it. That's like saying that the shitter at the AMC movie theater is premium because you're comparing it to a gas station toilet at the local Shell. Like, it's still trash, man. Like, there's nothing premium about it. It is like the most by the numbers, formulaic, nothing new establishment you could ever venture into for your coffee and overpay for. You're paying $9 for a normal experience of just going and getting some mediocre beverage. There's nothing special about it, and there is certainly nothing that Starbucks does to make it worthwhile for $9. That is just expensive. I don't know who he is citing when he's saying, and then people look at it like, well, this is really affordable for a premium experience because it's less than $10. Nobody says that. No, not even an NPC that you programmed would say that. Because it's not. There's no premium experience, and there's nothing affordable about it. It's expensive. And also, it speaks volumes that he can't even justify the $9 price tag on the merit of the beverage itself. Instead, he is relying on these ancillary things like, $9 may feel like splurging, but we have to consider the entire experience of going into the Starbucks. That's what's most important, the ambiance. That's what makes it worth it, the premium experience. He can't even just say with his whole chest that our drinks are so good and so high quality that they warrant a $9 price tag. You're paying for the highest quality coffee on the planet. Because that's not what you're paying for. You're just overpaying for mid-shit. And he knows that, and he knows he wouldn't be able to get away with saying that, so instead he's relying on these like X Factor things of a connection with the barista, a great seat, and of course, the premium Starbucks experience of being lucky enough to come inside of a Starbucks. It's a privilege, and you should feel honored every time you walk through those doors. That's what warrants the $9 price tag. not our shit-ass coffee. Anyway, the interview continues. Brian keeps putting his asshole in his mouth. He's talking about how Starbucks is actually doing very well, hasn't been impacted, and then even bragged about how the coffee chain is doing really well with younger generations. Hey Brian, you know what else is doing really well with younger generations? Fucking tongue sahur. Scalping neatos. Fighting each other over Pokemon cards at Walmart and Target. That statement is a nothing burger to me. In my eyes, it is a full-blown, venti, vaporwave, nothingness. Starbucks hasn't done anything to improve the quality of its products or improve its brand or anything at all, so I don't think it being successful with the younger generations is a testament to it doing things right. It's a testament to it just being there and existing. And the younger generation has clearly heard of it before, so they're willing to consume the product. That's it. I don't think he's hit some kind of home run here in recent Starbucks changes, because from everything I've seen, there haven't been any. It's just the same old Starbucks, but now just even more expensive than I ever thought possible for its shit. This fucking guy is so cringe. We're doing really well with Gen Z and millennials, and then really had strong performances across all income cohorts. It can start with as little as $3 for a traditional cup of coffee. And then obviously you can build your way into all sorts of customized drinks that people love and that move that ticket up. The way we're going to play the value game is you're gonna feel like it was worth it. Who walks away from Starbucks saying, holy shit, all that money I wasted was worth it? That was a premium experience. Who does that? What kind of actual loser has that kind of parting thoughts? Like, man, $9 down the tubes, but what a fucking experience. Oh my God, I think the barista might want to have sex with me. I think the barista wants to marry me. It just doesn't happen. There's no premium experience. He insists customers value the experience over discounts or flashy one-off promotions. Oh, that's what everyone says. I don't want to save money. I want to make sure when I go to Starbucks, everything is exactly the same and there's a chance of a connection with the barista. Please, don't help me save money with discounts or anything. I want to waste maximum amounts of money here at the same fucking Starbucks as always. Yeehaw. I'm sure, Brian. I'm sure. Anyway, I won't blabber on more about this guy. Just another painfully out-of-touch CEO I had to clown on. That's really about it. See ya. Stranger Things final season just dropped. Well, volume 1 of the final season just dropped, so they're releasing it in like waves. And I just finished it. So, let's give you the review. Does the 9 years, the nearly a decade of build-up start to pay off here? The question on everyone's mind. 5 seasons in 10 years. One of the biggest criticisms around this show isn't even really the quality of the show. It's the time in between seasons where it's like 3 years of just fucking purgatory, so then everyone kind of forgets what was happening by the time the new season rolls around. And I always see the intense enthusiasts of this show start attacking people that point that out, like, oh, you homunculi, what, you can't remember every single fucking iota of detail that happened 3 years ago from the last season? Well, why don't you just do what I do and watch the entire series start to finish every 3 years in preparation for the new season? It's simple. And I just think that's a really weak argument. I think it's a very valid, legit criticism to say, like, a lot of time passes that it loses a lot of its hype. So much time has passed that the actors started as children and are now full-fledged adults. Millie Bobby Brown even has a child of her own, and they're still playing these same characters that are supposed to be kids. It is unusual how much time passes between new seasons, and it's preposterous to expect everyone to do fucking homework and rewatch the series every couple of years so that way they can be caught up with what's going on so they don't feel fucking lost with the new season. Anyway, though, I think it's a real complaint. That's the whole point I'm making. But the final season, Volume 1, is here. But real quick, before diving into the spaghetti and meatballs of this review, I want to let you know Starforge Black Friday sale is live right now. It is fucking huge, up to $1,000 off of everything, so you can go there and check it out if you're looking for a better PC. It's got the best PCs in the universe. You can click the link below. So overall, my thoughts on Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1 are that it's fine. It's a little bit of a letdown. Like, there are more things I didn't like about it than things I liked. There were definitely still things I enjoyed about it, but there were so many things in here that I thought were just kind of underwhelming and even went against some of the, like, really good things Stranger Things had done in previous seasons. I'm going to be getting into spoilers, so this is your full warning here. I'm not going to spoil, like, everything with the first 4 episodes, but there are some things I want to talk about that I just think showcase that they were really trying to just get through it. There are just a lot of moments in here where it feels rushed. And I think there's no better example of that than the military themselves here. They right now lack any real clear motive for what they're doing. Like, we don't understand why the military is carrying out plans the way they are, other than just, we're the bad guys. That's as deep as it goes right now, and I'm sure that'll be fleshed out more in the next in the next volume of the final season. But right now, they're just literally flat, one-dimensional antagonist, military bad. And they put that fist up your ass, letting you know you should not be rooting for the military at all. So, like, they start taking kids from Hawkins to bring them to their barracks to try and protect them, but what they're actually doing is using the kids as bait. Which one character's like, well, this is kind of fucked up, and she says, well, get over it, rub some dirt in it, pussy. Dr. K, that's like the new main military bad guy. And then, like, as the kids are there, the military's like really mean to them. Like, one of the officers even like just slaps one of the kids when he like speaks up and says something rude. Military guy's just like, poof. It's like, okay, so military bad, I get it. But what I don't get is like the response to everyone else in Hawkins about the military. So like they have Hawkins quarantined basically, like they're prisoners, they can't leave Hawkins. And everyone's totally fine with that. They're like, oh yeah, no, just fucking normal day paradise here. So much so that when they start taking their kids, the families don't put up any kind of stink about it. They don't like fight back or anything at all. They literally go door to door and just say, we need your child. And the parents are like, okay, we'll take them. Do you want all of them? Like, I have more children. Do you want to take all of them or just this one? And it's like, what the fuck? Really? All the parents are going to be okay with the military just taking their kids to their undisclosed location that is inaccessible to the parents? It's really fucking weird. Maybe like the entirety of Hawkins has been hit by a stupid beam. Why though? Like, what are they trying to accomplish? We don't know yet. So they're just like literally cartoonishly evil to a certain degree. So when you see Hop just start gunning them down, murdering a bunch of them, or watching Eleven snap one of their necks like she was breaking a Kit Kat bar, even dropping like a quirky one-liner saying, sorry for this, and then he falls from the second story, you're just supposed to be like, yeah, that was a bad guy, because military bad. We don't know what they're even trying to do yet, though. So they just feel like such a lame villain, and they're actually fucking incompetent too, by the way. That is like a crazy wombo combo here, because you set up the military as like one of the big forces here that they're battling against, and they have this massive base set up, both in the normal world and in the Upside Down. And in both of these cases, they are extensively researching, studying, and mastering their understanding of the Upside Down and the creatures that reside there, like the Demogorgon and stuff. Yet, in the final episode, when they get ambushed by Demogorgon, it's clear the military has no real answers to them. Instead, they continue to just use their guns, which have been established for a decade now, are not effective against the Demogorgon at all, yet all they rely on is their fucking guns. There's only one brave goober in their entire platoon, in this entire military base of hundreds of soldiers, that decides to use the flamethrower. To great effect, mind you. So why, with all they understand about these creatures, with entire science labs dedicated to the full understanding, Dr. K even demonstrating that she knows heat is what is weakening the thing that strangles, which is basically like a fucking hentai tentacle monster that starts strangling Hop, even explaining like, they thrive in the cold, but heat weakens it. Why then is this entire military operation gun-focused instead of having more fire-based weaponry? Or like incendiary grenades or something? Why? Why are they fucking stupid? If they have that knowledge, is it like budget reasons? Like they weren't allocated enough budget to buy fucking flamethrowers, more of those, or God forbid even a lighter? Jesus, a flare maybe even? Why are they still using guns knowing full well it doesn't work on these creatures? It just doesn't make sense, especially considering that they have done so much research and actually thoroughly understand a lot of it to the point where they literally have L's kryptonite. They have basically the brown note that they're able to blast through their satellite dishes, their, antennas, which is like a frequency that disrupts Elle and she can't like use her powers anymore and it hurts her. They call it her kryptonite. So they studied so much that they now can fight against Elle, one of the most powerful beings in the show, yet they can't just get some more flame weaponry to actually fight the other creatures that they are literally basically cohabitating with. I don't get it. Are the guns just to keep the kids in line so that they can start shooting the kids if they start asking too many questions? Like, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. It just feels a little lazy, and it's my big complaint about part 1 is that a lot of it feels rushed. It knows it needs to get to certain places, but to get there, it doesn't really follow what's already been established. It just kind of like speed runs through it, at least in my perspective. And I also don't like that a lot of the character interactions just feel really weird and out of place. And the biggest culprit of that is Dustin and Steve. Now, their banter has been established since the beginning, basically. Like, they have camaraderie where they joke back and forth and they do argue. But in this season, that's dialed up to fucking 5,000. There is not a single scene with these two together where they are not at each other's throats. And to me, that just doesn't compute, because these are like basically best friends, and Dustin is a shell of his former self. After the death of Eddie, he's traumatized from it, and hellfire being dragged through the mud, it really hurts him. So his big character arc here is he's trying to basically stick it to the bullies by staying true to himself, like Hellfire's the greatest, Eddie's the GOAT, and for that he keeps getting his ass kicked, and it actually starts to deteriorate his friendships with Steve and the rest of the gang. And then when Steve is like trying to talk to him about it, he's not even really talking to him. He immediately is just combative with Dustin about it. And then Dustin is combative back. So then they're just perpetually arguing back and forth to the point where they have to implement a rule where they don't talk to each other anymore. Because every time they do, they argue. And when they break that rule, they're just arguing again. It's really annoying. These are like supposed to be best friends. Steve clearly knows what's going on. Why wouldn't Steve try and connect with him and try and like help him get through what is clearly a very rough period in his life, instead of just immediately pressing his buttons and attacking him? Like, it's not banter like it used to be. They're literally just perpetually arguing for the sake of just having some kind of conflict between them. Same way Steve and Jonathan are constantly arguing now because they're in this competition to impress Nancy. Like, it feels like characters are regressing. And it's just annoying. Especially Jonathan, by the way. His whole role in this series now is basically just being like a stick in the mud. Like, he is just always against the good ideas, and when an idea pans out, he's mad about it panning out. So like Steve, for example, he makes a pretty brave decision to drive his car with all of them in it to the Upside Down as the portal is closing. A decision that Nancy also supports, and Jonathan's like, no, don't do it, don't you fucking do it, don't you fucking do it! And then when they get through there, Jonathan immediately is mad at him like, well, maybe if you didn't drive it in the fucking Upside Down. And it's like, Jonathan, what are you talking about? And that's basically him for the entire volume 1 here of the final season. He's just always against the good idea. It's just lame. His whole character's been reduced to just like being obsessed with trying to like propose to Nancy now to beat Steve in this competition without ever really improving his relationship with Nancy and never actually contributing anything of value to the overall plot anymore. It's really disappointing to see. I also really don't like how inconsistent they are with the Demogorgon for the sake of plot armor around the main cast, or even the parents of the main cast. The viral clip that everyone's shooting spitballs at is when Karen, the mother, is trying to protect Holly and the Demogorgon is chasing them, and it one-taps the husband, whose name I already forgot because he plays such a little role. He hits him with like a golf club and the guy just slaps his nipples off. He survives, by the way. Well, now Karen is trying to protect Holly, so she breaks a wine glass and starts stabbing it, and the Demogorgon's like really suffering, like, ow, 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 ow. So Karen is literally fucking shaking this thing down for its lunch money, this thing that is unaffected by like bullets and everything, but this wine glass imbued with the power of a mother's love is just blasting it. But it doesn't kill the Demogorgon or anything. It does end up like slashing her, basically like fucking Wolverine cuts her to ribbons, or at least that's what you're supposed to believe. She survives that as well, by the way. But she did so much damage to it that they were able to follow its blood in the Upside Down, which was pretty important for Elle and Hop. Which, again, how the fuck is a wine glass more effective at making these things bleed and causing damage than all of the countless bullets that they just fucking face tank, just bullet sponge? I don't get that. It's just for the sake of, this is very important characters. Not only can we not kill them, we also need to make sure they have their moments to shine. I get it, but it's really very interesting when you show a scene like that, and you even show like this Home Alone style sequence where the main cast like booby traps a house and puts a tracker on a Demogorgon, hitting it with like fucking planks of wood and nails, trapping it in barbed wire, and then it's like so afraid that it has to run away from all of these like tiny little like doodads that they were blasting it with. And then you have a scene only an episode later where a Demogorgon, the same kind of Demogorgon, is just eating hundreds of bullets and literally splitting trained soldiers in half with no effort. Yet it can't kill a middle-aged man and woman or a bunch of kids, and it's so afraid of all of them that it has to leave, and it took so much damage that it's fucking bleeding out. It's just, like, I understand suspending disbelief. I get that. But it's a little over the top, and it's a little blatant, like the inconsistency with the Demogorgon when it comes to the main cast versus literally everybody else. Which isn't the biggest deal in the world, but it is something that kind of grinded my ass to a grease a little bit at the end of episode 4. Like, I've hit you with a lot of things I didn't like about it, but there are things I do like. I think Will's character is probably the best in the season. Like, this is a character that's basically been benched and sidelined for a while now, where he hasn't really done all that much, and basically his scenes kind of devolve into him just like staring at a camera or feeling his neck over the last few seasons. I struggle to remember anything of real significance he's contributed over the last few seasons, but in this season, he is the most important character, and he gets a huge power boost at the end that I think does actually make sense. It doesn't fully come out of nowhere. They do kind of place the breadcrumbs, but when it happens, you're like, oh wow, he can do that? That's going to be really important. And I think they do a good job of setting it up overall. Murray, I think, is the most enjoyable character in the show. He's basically just coming along delivering gifts and goodies to the crew when they need it in his big old truck, calling himself Santa Claus, delivering, all the valuable materials that they need, and doing it with his quirky, wacky personality. I actually like Murray. He was another standout so far in Volume 1. I also think Vecna is an interesting villain. Even though they keep introducing new things instead of, like, answering previous questions, which is kind of annoying, which is another one of my, one of my mini bah humbugs here. Like, I don't like how it's mainly just presenting you new information, or even at points like retconning previous information. It's still not giving any answers yet. Even with that in consideration, Vecna is still very interesting, and the mystery of, like, his grand scheme is enough to keep you invested and hooked on it, especially now they introduce, like, all those memories, and there's one that he's very terrified of, where Max has been hiding in this cave, and when she gets into that cave, you just see him just standing there in his normal human Henry form, just crying. I gotta fucking order a French fries there. Why? Like, there is a lot of interesting mysteries it proposes, though it has done a really poor job at providing any answers from things in the previous seasons so far. I'm guessing they're saving that for the next drop, which is a little frustrating. I would have liked to see some lines start to wrap up or start reaching a conclusion, but whatever, there's still plenty of episodes to go. I also think they do a good job of showcasing just how menacing and powerful Vecna is. In the final fight of episode 4, they have him walking out fucking aura farming. He's in his, like, turbo evil Groot form, so he's got, like, fucking tentacles all over him. He looks like a rotting tree ant, and he starts using his abilities to just massacre all of the remaining soldiers from the Demogorgon ambush. And they show how strong he is. And then he has, like, a speech to Will, and then, unfortunately, and this is another thing, the writing in this first volume feels so different from the good writing of older Stranger Things episodes. So after slaughtering 15 soldiers, gruesomely massacring them, Joyce is standing between Vecna and Will, and he just, flips her to the side. And then he, like, force chokes Will over to him and gives a little speech about, like, you were my first experiment, you broke so easily, your mind is weak, you've got poop brain, Buster, you got smooth brain, I don't like you, you're stupid, you're stinky, and for that I'm leaving. And He's going to let the Demogorgons take care of them. But why, though? Vecna, while he does enjoy reveling in the suffering of others, they've established that, they also, even in this very season, said he is not the kind of person to leave things unfinished, so why wouldn't he have just killed them himself? Like, why would he not have just immediately, like, fucking bopped Joyce, just slimed her out right then and there like he did all those soldiers? And I can see why he'd try and let a Demogorgon finish off Will, because that'd be like the ultimate torment. But still, it was just kind of, it felt lazy more so than anything. And that's the way I feel about a lot of dialogue in this first half of season 5, where it just feels like these characters talk at each other instead of with each other. So like Elle and Hop, as they're going through the Upside Down, which by the way, the Upside Down is no longer like this scary place with like bats and like giant tentacles and everything. It seems very sterile now. Like, you can make an argument that maybe the military went through and cleared it all out, and they've also been so experienced with it that now it's just no longer a big threat, which I think takes a lot of wind out of the sails of the Upside Down, which was once like the worst place imaginable, basically hell. Here, it's fundamentally just like a blue light filter area with a little red lightning, and there's nothing else to it. Like, there's no like sense of dread or looming terror in the Upside Down. It's basically empty now. Like, the only people left are the fucking military and like the Demogorgon once or twice. Outside of that, it's just completely vacant. Like, that place Squidward went to be all alone. So like, when Elle and Hop are traversing it, they're not even worried. Like, they're just casually strolling through the Upside Down. When Steve, Dustin, Jonathan, and Nancy get into the Upside Down, they're not worried either. They're treating it like a joke that they're now in the Upside Down, and they're just more annoyed that Steve crashed his car. So, like, the Upside Down is no longer, like, a scary thing. But what I was getting at with the dialogue, while Elle and Hop are going through the Upside Down, like, they bicker and then immediately make up, only to bicker again during, like, their making up, and then bicker again. Like, the line, punk ass, was used, like, 15 times in a single scene, where Hop is, like, injured, and she's being stubborn. He's like, "Oh, you're such a stubborn punk ass." And then she's like, "Oh, you mean like a stubborn punk ass?" And he's like, "Oh, you heard stubborn punk ass? Yeah, well, I guess I'm a stubborn punk ass too." It's like, okay, come on. You don't need to wear the word out so much. Like, they really hammer that word in there. And that's a lot of their dialogue. It just feels really stiff. But now I want to mention something else that I think is probably a hot take with something I liked from this volume 1. I really like that they brought Eleven's sister back. That's probably a really spicy take, because that episode is still the worst in the series by far. That was in like season 2, where they had this like random, completely out of left field episode where Eleven meets her sister who has powers like her, and they basically have like a fucking biker gang, and they go out causing a ruckus. And that was an episode everyone hated. And it seemed as though they tried to pretend it never existed, because it never came back again. Eleven's sister was never even loosely referenced again, really. But in the final episode here of Volume 1, we see that the thing that was like clogging her ability to use her powers and hurting her and like weakening her was actually the military using her sister as that sonic weapon. I actually really like that idea, because you can't just say that episode in season 2 is not canon. It has to still exist as a part of the overall lore here. And I think this was a good way of doing it. You no longer have to like address anything else about that episode. You now have the most important part of that episode, that character, now in the megamix here in a way that I think does make sense. And now you have another very powerful piece on the chessboard for how they could fight against Vecna. It does make me a little concerned that the final fight between Vecna and the main crew is going to be like a fucking Conjuring movie finale where it's basically just like force pushes back and forth. I would really hate if it, and I hope I'm wrong, but I can see this happening. I would really hate if it ends with Vecna getting into like basically a Dragon Ball Z beam struggle with 11. And then he's like, "You can't defeat me alone." And then she's like, "I'm not alone." And that's when her sister comes in and adds to the beam. And then that's when Will comes in and adds to the beam. I'm using beam metaphorically because, of course, they're going to be fighting with the invisible force pushes. But then you have all three of the very powerful people all banding together to force push into Vecna, which obliterates him. I would hate that. I would really hate that. And I could maybe see it happening, because now you have three people that can all do this. You have 11, you have her sister, now you have Will. There is a chance that's how they're going to kill Vecna, and that would really suck. That would be so fucking lame. But hopefully I'm wrong. For now, I do like how they brought Eleven's sister into the fold. I think it was well executed, and I'm very curious to see where it goes with that character now. Anyway, I've been yapping about this one for a while, but this is a season 9 years in the making here. And I don't think it was the greatest Volume 1. I don't think it was bad. Like, I think there were definitely good moments, but instead of providing, like, answers, it is still giving you more questions and expanding upon previous questions, and it's really starting to feel like it's dragging, even though it also feels like it's rushing through certain things. It's just, I don't know, it's just in an odd spot. I'm really hopeful that the next volume, like, I do think this will still... like, it still has the potential for a good ending, so I'm still looking forward to how it wraps up. It's just, I didn't love this first batch of 4. It was fine. That's really about it. So yeah. Barbie Fest is the new Willy Wonka experience. I did not hear about this. That's awfully high praise. Wow. This looks sad. This looks like something out of Season 2 of Fallout. Oh my, what is this? Are they testing bombs here or something? The Barbie Dreamfest was billed as the ultimate Barbie fan weekend, promising attendees interactive experiences, unique programming, a star-studded panel, and other unforgettable experiences. But after the first 2 days of the event at the Broward County Convention Center in Fort Lauderdale, Florida... Hey, Florida! Let's go, baby! We fucking did it! Some attendees who paid up to $450 for tickets have likened it to the Fyre Fest or viral Willy Wonka immersive experience. Can I see it? Here we go. Oh, let me see that again. I mean, already has a lot more going on than the Willy Wonka experience. You have some custom barricades here. What's that? 4 tables with some balloons. This looks lively. 2 inflatables. That leaves a little to be desired there.
The Barbie Dream House. We're at the life-sized Barbie Dream House right now, guys.
Oh wow, it's a cardboard cutout. It is life-size.
There.
Wow, you can live in that. The hell did that say? Impala. Damn, they got a whole obstacle course set up there. Look at this. It's like a tower defense maze. Everyone looks like they're having so much fun. What's the problem? This seems like $450 well spent. You just have to imagine the houses. You're so fucking right. That's so true.
Okay, here is another sponsor that we saw, which I have questions about where the sponsorship money went. Is there money? Because there's no cookies, and they make cookies, so what did they contribute?
What? Sweet Lawrence is... they make cookies? That is a good question. You would think if they're sponsoring the Barbie Fest, they would have... Yep, they are gluten-free vegan cookies, it seems like. You would kind of expect them to want to be putting their product there. Maybe that's whoever's hosting this just really likes Sweet Lawrence. Thanks to our sponsor and partner, Sweet Lawrence. I ate one for breakfast this morning, so thanks for helping giving me the energy to put this on today.
There's neon. Maybe that's the dream house. There's neon? Yeah, right next to it. There it is. Oh, is that the life? I mean, we can't get up there with it, so. Dude. Wow. Pose. Pose.
That really is a big wow moment.
Yeah, that's how this is going.
Wow. Wait, what was that? Oh, it's like a hair salon over here. Get your hair done like Barbie.
Are you having fun? More sponsors.
Okay. This is the biggest load of baloney ever. You're telling me Dillard's helped put this shit together? 100% they just started throwing names in here, hoping no one would notice. You're telling me a yoga group helped sponsor Barbie Dreamfest? You think I'm an idiot, don't you? You think I'm stupid, huh? Imagine Cheeky Soap was there. Oh, wait a minute. Imagine they did just slide Cheeky in there. I'd go crazy. I'd be like, oh my god, yeah! Yeah! We were there! Part of history! The world's worst Barbie fest! Let's go!
They're here, I guess. These three are here. Those three are there.
Michaels is there. No way. Show me the official Michaels booth. Michaels doesn't... What do they sponsor? They don't sponsor shit. Michaels is just like the #1 spot for arts and crafts supplies. You think they're sponsoring fucking Barbie Dreamfest? My left shoe. What do they sponsor? Let's see. I'm seeing if they've ever sponsored anything else ever. I feel like they just brought in some Michaels product that they bought earlier that day. I also don't know why I thought I would find anything about what they've sponsored in the past by just typing in Michaels sponsor. It's just trying to put me in touch with their press packages. What a terrible search from me. I still just don't believe it, and I don't feel like looking harder now.
This is the yoga one.
Maybe it's not the store Michaels, just a dude named Michael.
Very cute pink outfits in
Perhaps.
a lot of different sizes.
This is real cute for the kiddos.
Yep.
This is here, Miss Rocks.
That's gorgeous.
That might be the yoga mats, yeah.
Yes, that's the yoga mats.
A lot of yoga.
No, baby. No.
I think the braiding loft...
That might be in there.
Yes, I think they're working with the glam bar.
Didn't see that.
Definitely didn't see that.
I'm not convinced that this is a flop yet. What is this? Oh, it's a roller skating arena. I thought that they were just closing kids in there. You aren't allowed to walk the grounds here.
And it's embroidered with Dream Life here. And then let me show you what I've gotten so far.
So it wasn't all a bust.
I got this gorgeous art piece. And then
nice.
I have this other one. I thought that was very pretty, so I got that.
Cool, cool.
And then I also have this one. This looks so pretty. Isn't that pretty? And then...
Was that AI? that one might have been AI art.
And I also have this one.
I
This
don't
one's
feel
really
like trying to
gorgeous.
rewind
it's,
here
hand
on...
done. This is like a hand-painted butterfly. Look all the colors. It's so amazing.
That is pretty amazing.
So that's what I got. And then I have this boot in here, just some spare stuff.
Man, in the description, she's calling it a nightmare fest and the worst event ever. She probably dropped $150 though on all this this merch and her swag bags and all that.
And so,
bro, go to the website. They were supposed to have special guests like Serena Williams and Angel Reese. No. They probably showed up, right? The voice of Kin, Sean Hankinson. Chef Becky Brown, a chopped champion, also there. You can pay for some cool stuff. Dr. Swati Mohan, a NASA aerospace engineer. She's coming tomorrow. Little confused on the crossover there, I'm going to be honest with you. Don't really get that. But that's cool. That's cool. So it's still going on. We haven't even seen it at its full potential yet. So was Serena Williams and Angel Reese there? I'm guessing no, right? She did. No, I'm looking at it right now. She was slated to be there from 3 p.m. until 6. And she did show up, according to a few Redditors. Though that could just be a lie. Those could just be bots. It is Reddit. Take it with a handful of salt. I have yet to see a single picture of Serena Williams at Barbie Dreamfest. And you would think Serena Williams being there would be a pretty big deal. People be pretty excited for that, I would think. Okay, this is from their Facebook page.
Barbie Dream Fest, March 27th to 29th, for a fan-filled weekend of limitless possibilities.
What are the odds this is AI? I haven't seen any evidence of her actually being there. The only people saying that she showed up were like 4 commenters on Reddit. There's some videos on TikTok. All right, let me check TikTok. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
There's 2 ways. When you are a favorite, then it's
She did show up.
to lean into pressure. That's a different conversation. Pressure does create diamonds.
True.
I also think that underestimating is...
How much did they pay her? Because that event is dead as fuck. Did Angel Reese show up as well? Wow. Yeah, the guests they said were coming, they did come. Here, apparently they had a little bit more here than we've seen in the other videos. I was skeptical for a few months as to why there hasn't been official photos of what the con would look like. In all Barbie Dreamfest ads, they looked like this, and since it's Mattel, billion-dollar company, I thought they would come through. I'm going to use these pics for my dispute. So this is how they advertised it, I guess. Wow, they were so close to that too. Oh, wow. Yeah, that wasn't there, unfortunately. If only they didn't blow all their budget on getting Serena Williams and Angel Reese. The first thing that comes up when you start typing Mischief Management is Mischief Management Scandal. Mischief Management and Romance Con. So this seems to be their last flop. Harnessing the power of fandom. Barbie Dreamfest. They have one coming up called Enchantian? Enchantian? I don't know what that is. Broadway Con. Partner events. Camp Film Festival. In partnership with Patreon. Alien Con. In partnership with A&E. Ah, here we go. Okay. When I go to the Doug Marcaita's website, he's the only one I can find with a post about HistoryCon, which is proudly advertised here, by the way. Please note this event has been postponed. This is the most recent thing I can find. So it looks like this didn't even happen. I heard a name today that I haven't heard in many moons. Had me feeling like Robin Williams when he crawled out of Jumanji asking what year it is. That name? James Charles.
I just got a DM on here from a girl that said, "Good morning, James. I know you'll probably never see this, but if you could just take 1 minute to read it, would really mean a lot to me. I'm really struggling right now because Spirit Airlines just filed for bankruptcy and I have lost my job. Here's a GoFundMe link. Any donations help." I'm sure they do, sweetheart. I'm sure they do. You know what else would help you? Getting another job.
What a yucky douchebag. This is like cartoon villain level evil monologue here. Oh, no money, huh? No money? Bang! Shrink ray! Now you're short too! Like that kind of thing. It's so over the top, stinking, oozing assholery. I cannot believe his delusional mind thought this was a good idea or like a strong look or a worthwhile dunk to be punching down on someone who's already fallen on hard times after losing their job, and they reached out to you in this desperate situation because clearly they have an appreciation of you. So they threw the Hail Mary, seeing what happens. I doubt they were expecting this kind of response. Now, of course, there is always the chance that it is fraudulent. There are so many fake GoFundMes out there, so there's always a chance that all of it is fucking fiddlesticks. It could all be baloney. I have no way of knowing that. I only have James Charles fucking Gangnam styling on this person and insulting them for it to go on, which leads me to believe that it might be real, because if it was just fake, obviously just a sham, why would he even be bothering to crash out for over 2 minutes about it? So I'm going to work under the assumption that this is a real person that has reached out about it. You could have just not responded. Like, that was also an option. You didn't need to come over here and start, like, spitting and dunking on him. Like, how dare you even message me asking for help? Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm James Charles, goddammit. And is there anything ickier than someone that has a job like James Charles telling someone else to get a job, preaching that they need to get a job? Brother, this former Spirit Airlines worker is a 10 times harder worker and has done 10 times as much labor as you ever have in your life. James Charles' entire career has been just farting out dog shit products and posting cringe videos, and he couldn't even do that without also trying to sext minors. So how dare you try and tell an actual hardworking American to go get a job as if you've done anything worthwhile and you've done like actual work? You got the easiest fucking job in life. You got dealt a very lucky hand, bro. This is so tasteless. It's so crude. Coming from James Charles of all people. So you've never been in a desperate financial situation. Great. Group hug in the shower tonight, James. Glad you've never gone through a financial struggle. This person is. And they desperately tried to reach out to you, and there's no obligation for you to try and like save them or anything. Obviously, there's no expectation of that, but they tried anyway because they're feeling in a rough spot. So they tried, and now you're insulting them and publicly trying to humiliate them for it. It's just so gross, bro.
Yeah, try that. Because in the time that it took you to copy and paste the same fuck-ass message to myself, who you don't follow, by the way, and probably 100 other influencers and celebrities, you could have applied for 100 other jobs, but you didn't because you're a lazy piece of shit and you're entitled. And you think that influencers and celebrities should fund your life for you. Why would I ever help you?
There's no way the word entitled just left his lips. Right? No, I must have misheard that. There's no way he said that. James Charles did. He didn't use that word against somebody else, did he? It had to be an audio glitch. I'm gonna assume that there's no way his vocal folds would even let the word entitled leave his lips. Oh my god, the lack of self-awareness would probably cause his fucking head to combust. So I'm not even gonna bother touching on that one, holy. So let's instead look at the other stuff he said. He really highlighted that this person doesn't follow him. Who gives a fuck? There's plenty of people that I watch their stuff and engage in their content with without subscribing to them or following them on socials. That's pretty normal, actually. I don't know why he's like spiteful about that. So then he's using that to say like, oh, you must have sent this to like 100 other celebrities. Based on what, man? You're just making an assumption. You're just taking a guess. You don't know that. You could be the only person they reached out to about it because they really admired you and thought that maybe you could be that helping hand. Which again, there's no obligation for him to do, but why go this hard against them? This is fucking diabolical. And you have no idea if they've sent out job applications or not. Why are you speaking as though you're certain they haven't? They very well could have 100 job applications out there right now. The Spirit Airline layoffs are still pretty new. Getting a job right away is not like this, bro. I don't know how out of touch you are with reality and what's going on in the world around you. It doesn't happen lickety-split like that. So in the meantime, they are out income. And I imagine as a Spirit Airlines employee, they weren't rolling in dough, able to afford fucking mansions and stuff. They're probably wondering where next month's rent is going to come from in the meantime in between jobs. So they reached out to you in the interim. That would be my guess. You have no clue if they've sent out job applications. It takes a while.
You're not a fan. You don't even follow me. You've never supported me. This is your first time DMing. And you think that I'm going to send you money because you lost your job? Oh my God. Welcome to the real world, sweetheart. People lose their jobs every fucking day, and you're white, pretty, and able-bodied. You're in a much better position than a lot of other people out here who are trying clearly much harder to make a better life for themselves. Why would I fucking help you?
What is Dr. Doofenshmirtz even crashing out about at this point? He's having a conniption, blowing a gasket. Over what? What are you even yapping about? You're not even making a point anymore. You're trying to tell someone else how the real world functions when you yourself haven't been a member of the real world in like a fucking decade. You are so detached from the real world, yet you're over here lecturing them about it? It's absurd, bro. You couldn't write someone this out of touch and this unlikable. He's like the Starbucks CEO about the $9 coffee and the premium experience, but wrapped up in like an insufferable asshole influencer.
Aside from that, 17,000 people lost their jobs at Spirit Airlines. Why do you think you need the GoFundMe? I can at least 1% respect the mentality of closed mouths don't get fed, doesn't hurt to try. But honestly, it does hurt to try because now you pissed me off. Okay, I'm not the one. Go find fucking Mr. Reese. This is literally his entire shtick. I'm sure the next YouTube video is literally going to be like, I rehired all 17,000 of the Spirit Airlines employees, and it's going to be the real life Hunger Games. The last one of them to leave the Spirit Airlines plane gets to be the CEO of the new company and gets a house and a car and $10 million that everybody else dies.
Stop trying to make jokes. Actually, just please stop trying to make jokes, James. Put the kibosh on it right now. It's miserable listening to him try and inject humor into anything. Why did it piss you off? How does that piss you off? Yeah, 17,000 people lost their jobs here, man. That's 17,000 people that are now out income. I imagine a lot of them are feeling very similar ways to the person that reached out to you. This person just decided to try. They decided to throw a Hail Mary. Again, you could have just ignored it. Why did it piss you off? That's a fucking you problem, man. That is a weird response to it.
Go find that video to compete in, baby. I'm not helping you. I'm not fucking helping you. All you did was lost your job, okay? Welcome to the real world. I can at least understand if you were like, James, I'm a longtime fan. Here's a trillion years of DMs and my support for you. I love you. I'm suffering with a really rare genetic disease that there is no cure for, and I'm trying to raise money for myself and other people that have this. Maybe I would help. Maybe I would help because I love you and I appreciate you. This bitch, you lost your fucking job? What are we gonna do? Nothing! I'm gonna do nothing. You know what you need to do? Go find a fucking new one, girl. Put some effort into the workplace.
Hey, pal. You just blow in from Stupid Town? He really thought he cooked with this rant. So the impression here is that the only people in the world he cares about are people that mindlessly support him through thick and thin forever. Here's a trillion DMs. Okay, now I care about you. So maybe if you had a genetic disease where you were dying and you were about to just kick the bucket, I might consider spitting on you if you were on fire. I might, because you've proven that you're a fan. And those are the only people I care about. Those are the only human beings to me, are the fans. Then I would have cared. By the way, worth reminding you, there's nothing that says that she wasn't a fan, by the way, James, just because she didn't follow you or DM you before. What an awful perspective to have on people, huh? Again, you could have just not said anything about it, but you decided to make a whole show. You decided to go fucking hog wild on it. And man, do you look like a clown talking about hard work in the real world, two things that you are not someone to be lecturing anyone on. You don't work hard, and you are not in the real world. And that's one of the biggest things, points he tries to make here. Get real. This person is just in a desperate spot, as a lot of people are and have been. And in those positions, sometimes people try a Hail Mary. That's what they did here. It clearly didn't resonate with you in any way, and for some reason really brought the demon out of you, James, for some reason. But I don't think they did anything wrong. Again, you could have just not said anything about it. And you have no idea if they are applying for jobs. It rarely happens overnight, especially currently. So in the meantime, having no income is scary and detrimental to actual working people, James. Most average workers can't just coast off of poop they shat out years ago like you can, just collecting paychecks off of the trash that you've peddled over the years passively. So, in the meantime, they made this GoFundMe, they reached out to you, and then you had this ballistic response to it. And James did get dunked on for it, so he made an apology video.
This video was fucking stupid. It was rude, it was obnoxious, it was privileged, and most importantly, it was completely fucking unnecessary. When I saw that DM, I absolutely had the choice to ignore it and say absolutely nothing at all and move on with my day. But instead, I couldn't even tell you why. Her message just triggered me, and I decided instead to make a video about it.
Put a shirt on. You don't need to get into formal attire, not asking you to put a suit and tie on, but could you do the bare minimum of at least putting on clothes? Why are you filming this video half awake in your hotel bed after a night of binge drinking and meth smoking? You couldn't just do at least a tad bit more? Why do I have to watch you shirtless here, fucking sleepwalk through your response?
And I bashed her, and it was obnoxious, and I shamed her for asking for help in a situation where she was clearly really struggling and this could have been her absolute last resort. I have no idea what was going on in her life, and I should have never assumed that she was just copying and pasting this DM as an easy way out. I don't know. I just don't know.
Ooh, I know. Pick me. I've got my hand raised. I know. It's because you are an egomaniac. It's because you are a self-centered, self-absorbed, narcissistic piece of shit, bro. That's why you did it. You thought that you were above this person, and you thought you could actually convince your audience that what they are doing is wrong and worthy of being shamed. And you tried to even spin it in a way like hard work, when you yourself are not the product of hard work. So you tried to puff out your chest about how much it takes to get back out there with the elbow grease, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, but the message falls flat because you, the messenger, are not that person. And you're also choosing someone who is going through a very real grievance, again, assuming all of this is a legitimate story and a legitimate person, which I have no reason to believe it's not based on everything he's said. So, really, it was all a pile of dog shit, and you let your mask slip so people get to see even more about the real you, James. This is the real you.
My intention behind making this video in the first place was I get a lot of messages like this every single day. And for me personally, it definitely sucks to receive messages from people that don't follow you and don't support you, treating you like our personal ATM or bank account. But what I'm sure sucks even fucking more is not knowing where your next paycheck is coming from and not being sure whether or not you're going to be able to put food on the table for yourself and your family. So it really doesn't matter what my intentions were behind making the video, because it came across as super fucking privileged and like I was basically shaming anybody that's unemployed for not trying hard enough to get a job. And I feel awful because that wasn't my intention, and it really hurt a lot of people.
This is coming across very genuine here, James, as he's falling into slumber here. It feels like I'm watching a video of someone ODing. Why did you even film it like this, man? And also, I don't understand why it even upset him in the first place and why he says it sucks that people, treat me like an ATM. I get these random messages from people that obviously don't know anything about me and are just trying to hose me for cash. Like, yeah, that happens. That's annoying if you see it, but I guarantee most of the messages go to his management. I guarantee James doesn't see the vast majority of those, like, fake, reaching out for money type things. It's not like a telemarketer call. Telemarketers get a direct line to you, they call you, then they treat you like a little piggy bank for their trash product, and you know what happens there? You hang up. Here, these messages go into the fucking void. You'd have to go out of your way to find these, like, spam, scam, like, fraudulent things. Like, I don't understand why he's making it seem like, oh, it's so hard being me, James Charles, where people reach out and they don't even care because they're asking me for money. Again, I don't think you see most of them, and the ones you do see, just ignore. Like, it takes, like, actual split seconds. If he was making a point like, friends and family are always reaching out to me just for cash, they treat me like I'm not even a human anymore, I'm just a cash ATM for them, then I'd get it, because, yeah, that sucks, that's horrible. That's not what he's saying. It's so weird, like his view on it, at least to me, I think it's weird. I'll sum up the next section where he tries to like relate to the average worker, saying that he knows how hard it is in today's job market. I know people looking for a job and it sucks, getting ghosted and stuff like that. So now he's saying like, oh, I get it. It's super, I relate. That's now his big thing that he's saying in this section. And then he goes on to talk about how he recognizes that he got really lucky with his makeup tutorials, so now he's got the position he's in, and now in his position he needs to learn how to humble himself.
And for anybody that saw that video and was disappointed or upset with what I said, I am super sorry, especially to the woman from Spirit Airlines. I did try to look for her message earlier before making this video, and I couldn't find it. If you see this video and you want to get in touch, I would love to apologize to you directly and to help you out a little bit. But if you are not comfortable with that, I totally understand too. I really appreciate anybody that sent me a message or left a comment about this video today, letting me know how insensitive it was. I really needed to hear that.
I was giggling so hard. He's going on like, okay, I really want to help now. I tried to find her message, but I fucking banished to the Shadow Realm somewhere along the way. I really want to help. I've learned my lesson. And then there's a cut, and then he's got the blanket pulled over him. He's tucking himself into bed. Why? It's so fake. It's so unbelievably fake.
And I really need to think twice before I hit record and just start yapping on this account. I genuinely treat this spam page like I'm on FaceTime with you guys. I love to laugh and tell you stories and rant and scream at the camera and joke around with y'all, but sometimes I genuinely forget how many people are watching, and it was completely inappropriate to make a joke out of somebody just trying to provide for themselves and their family. That's definitely my bad.
What joke did you make, man? It was just insulting them. It was just berating them for having the gall to try and reach out to you in any capacity during a hard time. Where was the haha? I don't know why he's saying it like that. Like, I just, I love to rant, I love to yap, I love to laugh, I love to joke, and, well, I just forgot that so many people like me and watch me, and this one came across bad. I shouldn't have been joking about this one. But you weren't joking, you were just insulting this person. What are you talking about? And it wouldn't have changed even if you had, like, a fraction of the people watching. You'd still be an asshole. Yeah, it'd still be fucking weird to have that response to it. So yeah, that's the James Charles stuff going on in a nutshell. I haven't heard that name in a long time, and it popped up today, and I had to watch that. What a wacky fucking rant. Anyway, that's really about it. So yeah, what are some of the most dangerous combinations on the planet? Dynamite and a lighter, opioids and alcohol, Charles White and a basketball. But what about obsession and a weirdo? That is a recipe for disaster. A deranged individual becoming obsessed with someone or something, that is boogeyman shit. And I'm not talking obsessed about like, oh, I'm obsessed with working out or something like that. I'm talking about the obsession where it becomes like a full-blown fixation and genuinely a full-blown red alert mental disorder that spirals out of control and has oftentimes in the past led to some fatal outcomes, like with stalkers. Most notably, the one everyone always goes to is the Bjork stalker, Ricardo Lopez. He was the one that filmed himself blowing his brains out after forming this obsession with Bjork and trying to assassinate her with a letter bomb, trying to murder her. It's frightening. It is genuinely scary. And last night on stream, I learned about a new, potentially dangerous, obsessed weirdo where someone became fixated on a child from Fairly Odd Parents, a character named Hazel. And this obsession has become so strong that now they are sending threatening emails to the voice actress that plays this character on the show. And I've seen a handful of people saying that it's not that big of a deal, just point and laugh at this weirdo and move on. He's probably harmless. Just pop some popcorn and clown on him. And I just think that that's not exactly the way of handling someone like this. This is someone that needs to be reported, like genuinely to authorities. This is someone that is like actually unhinged. This is a potential maniac, and I don't think it gets taken seriously enough when it comes to this kind of shit. So anyway, I'll show you what we went over on stream, and then we also went over some other big examples of people just like this guy that have in the past gone on killing sprees as a result of their obsession with cartoon children. You saw a super creepy email the voice actor for Hazel in the new Fairly Odd Parents cartoon received? Fairly Odd Parents voice actress Ashley Crystal Hairston shares disturbing obsessive email from fan fixated on character Hazel. Ashley, the last time I sent you a message, you ignored me. I really did not appreciate being discarded like that, so I'll try to reach out to you again. You do not have to respond, but I implore you to at least listen to what I have to say. But if she doesn't respond, you feel discarded and get upset and then send another email. It's a lose-lose. You're not even really giving her permission. It's the illusion of choice. I'm going to assume you did not read the DM I sent you, but on the off chance you did, I apologize for using racial slurs. So I'd just like to reiterate that I am completely in love with Hazel. She is perfect in every way. To say I'm in love with her is honestly an understatement. She is the love of my life. The universe itself has told me that Hazel is my soulmate, and who are you to go against God? This immediately has the DNA of that guy who killed his sister over his love of Clementine from The Walking Dead. Anyone remember that guy? It was this Nicholas Prosper. It was his sister that he murdered, right? I'm pretty sure it was. This is some very, very, very disturbing shit. We talked about this on stream a while ago. But he became obsessed with Clementine from the game, a child, by the way. And I think it was he let his sister play the game, and he was watching and then didn't like a decision that she had made. Why did you kill Larry in front of Clementine? That kind of thing. And then killed her. It was actually his whole family. He killed all of them. What? Oh my god, what? It's been a while since we went over it, but I thought it was only one person that he killed. It was his whole family? Yeah, you're right. The Prosper family murders. 18-year-old Nicholas Prosper murdered his mother, Juliana, his sister, and brother. And yep, all three had been killed by a double-barrel shotgun. He also intended to commit a school shooting. And so his father survived. On September 16, 2024, his father, Ray Prosper, shouted, "I still love you, son. It's not your fault, okay?" That's just heartbreaking to hear, man. I couldn't even imagine being a parent and having something like that, where your son is a fucking evil monster. It must be the most difficult thing in the world to come to terms with. And now your whole life, everyone that you've loved, your wife, your kids are dead because of your son. That's just an entire brain breaker. Prosper shared a pre-recorded video where he referred to The Walking Dead online at 6:22 a.m. and disposed of 2 mobile phones, believing this would protect a group of pedophiles he talked to on Twitter. At one point, Prosper abandoned the bag containing the shotgun and ammunition in a bush at a playing field. At 7:55, Prosper left his hiding spot, walked down Birmingham Road toward a passing police car, which he flagged down with a raised hand. Prosper believed that all schools in the area would be locked down, so his plan was foiled and decided to surrender. That's how they caught him. He was charged with 3 counts of murder. This video, like, he had a YouTube channel dedicated to his love of Clementine. Like, it was all documented.
It's on Living.
It's completely fucking crazy. Like, it's unbelievable. It's beyond disturbing. Here's one of the videos.
He went home with it, and there he set up a webcam, put on his best bucket hat, and began to film a video. Right away in the video, he clearly states that, due to the decisions Giselle made in the game, he was planning on mutilating her face beyond recognition.
On June 30th, my sister decided to make the only correct choices in episode 1 of season 1 of The Walking Dead games, and for that her face will be mutilated further than necessary.
After mentioning his sister, he turns his attention to a video he saw on YouTube. This was gameplay footage of the Walking Dead game recorded by a channel called Living Echoes.
It's just fucking horrifying, man. Sick, twisted, evil people out there. But point is, this is giving me that exact same energy. This feels like the exact same guy. This is dangerous. Genuinely is dangerous. Like, it is wacky to point and laugh at the freak, but this is a genuinely dangerous, unhinged person. What I'm trying to say is that to see you, Hazel's voice actress and co-creator, Ship Devzell, broke my heart. She's my wife and I love her more than anything. God hates you for getting in the way of Hazel's and my love. Soon you will feel the universe's wrath. Hazel is mine and mine alone. I love her, and she loves me. I will never forgive you for the hurt you have caused. I suggest you take down all the Devzell posts you made, the interviews mentioning it, and stop shipping them if you want a peaceful life. Hazel is canonically 10 years old, by the way. Well, yeah, that's pretty clear. It's Fairly Odd Parents. That Danny Phantom dude had a YouTube channel too, right? Yep, oh god, what was it called? Something Blaze? Was it Andrew Blaze or something? All about his obsession over the Amber. Yeah, it was Andrew Blaze. Thought so. Scary stuff, man. Scary stuff. He also did a shooting, such a weird phenomenon. Yeah, he went and killed coworkers. His real name's Randy Stair. But he went by Andrew Blaze online and was obsessed with her from Danny Phantom. It's scary how common this stuff is getting. Feels not safe. I wouldn't say that it's getting more common. It's just we see a lot of it now. But this kind of obsession has been around for as long as, as long as I can remember. Think about the Bjork stalker, for instance. But if you're talking about like the phenomenon of people getting obsessed with fictional characters like in cartoons and shit, I guess that's a little newer since cartoons are a little bit newer. But those kind of people have always existed. It's fucking scary. And they seem to always get obsessed with children characters in the cartoon. Clementine, Hazel. It's only been like a month or so since I took a bit of a dive into the cesspool of Kickstarter after learning that it's been inundated with fraudulent AI-generated products. It appears the site is just fully plagued, and the main thing that gets pitched on Kickstarter these days is just phony baloney nonsense AI slop. All designed to try and squeeze a couple of clams out of gullible people that don't recognize that it's not real, that it's all make-believe. However, Matt just sent me a Kickstarter project that does seem to be real, and it's looking to dust off an old novelty from way back in the day. Raise your hand if you remember Smell-O-Vision. This whole idea, the final frontier of entertainment, the fourth dimension, where you can smell your movies, your TV shows, and in the case of this Kickstarter project, specifically, your games.
Games get more realistic every year. Higher resolutions, faster refresh rates, even full virtual reality. But one sense has always been missing. Our sense of smell, the most emotional sense we have. At some point, we've all wondered what it would be like if we could actually smell what we see on screen, what it would feel like to step into a world, not just look at it.
Have we all wondered that? Is that really something every gamer thinks at some point? Because I would imagine the only like unifying thought across all gamers' minds at some point in their life is, could I possibly suck my own dick? Like, I don't know how common it is to like really have this intense desire to smell the game. I can only speak for me personally, I suppose, but I just feel like that'd be such a fucking nuisance. Like, I would hate to be like playing Call of Duty and smelling the body odor and sweat and gunpowder as I'm vaulting over something about to, drop shot some dumb asshole, right? Like, I think that would suck. I would really not like that. And there's a huge difference between smelling the game and stepping into that world. That's two very different things. It's not to say that I think it's like a bad idea. I'm sure there is like a community of people that would love to have access to the game smells, right? And the project has already been fully backed, so it definitely does have smell enthusiasts out there, and I have no doubt there's some real greaseballs hitting one of these right now. Can't wait to get their hands on this technology so they can go smell Ada Wong's panties in Resident Evil or something and go freaky mode on it. But I do understand that there is a market for it. I am just not in that group at all.
Introducing the Scent Bar. Breathe your game. Don't just play it. 10 fans that can be independently activated. And 10 scent slots allow real-time scent release, always, no matter the scene. The brain of the Scent Bar is the AI image detection. We are starting with 30 scents, allowing immersion in nature, racing, and action games.
Of course, no Kickstarter project is complete without an AI voiceover. That's mandatory at this point. But this product does seem to actually exist. I can find footage of them showcasing it at Gamescom. Now, how effective it was at delivering the scents directly to your fucking nostrils, I couldn't tell you, but I did see that it is a product that they actually did have like a setup for people to experience. According to this video, they're launching with 30 cents, 3 different packages, and the astute observers out there may have noticed a very shocking absence. There's no Gooner package there. They don't have a selection of goon aromas. There's no sweaty gym socks. There's no panty fumes. There's no smegma adjacent scents or anything like that. And I gotta tell you, I think that was a big misstep. I think they're leaving a lot of money on the table because I bet you they could have found some real fucking degenerates to immediately buy the Gooner suite of smells out the wazoo. They'd be huffing that shit like it's Urgot's tubes in League of Legends.
And uses AI image detection to work with practically every game. After backing this campaign, you will be able to enter the fourth dimension of gaming and start creating memories inside your games, just like in real life.
Yeah, but I can do that now. I can make memories with games, and I do it all the time, actually. And I have tons of memories from games in my past without ever having to smell them or anything like that. Like, I don't know how much that really strengthens the experience of a game. But again, I can only speak for me personally. I just don't really care to sniff it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a dog. Like, I don't need to sniff it, really. Like, I'm happy just experiencing it without the fourth dimension being there. Like, it's not like it unlocks the ability to, you know, have these cherished memories of games. I can still make those cherished memories even without having to smell some scent fumes and juices from the pods that are being fanned at me through the Zestum device placed under my computer while I'm playing Expedition 33.
You've got yourself a scent bar. Awesome choice. Let's get it set up together. First, take your scent bar out of the box. The scent bar works with AI image detection. You can download our software directly from the website. And don't worry, the software barely uses any of your PC's performance. Trust me, your frame rate is safe. Welcome to the scent bar control panel. The tabs at the bottom show your 10 scent slots and what's currently loaded in each one. Intense. Say zombie games and you rather not smell rotten meat all night? No problem. Just swap the scent pod manually and keep the label for the AI to recognize. That way, even zombies can smell like fresh roses. Or energy drink, if that's your thing.
So here's the rundown of how it works and how it gets set up here. So you place it under your monitor, you connect it with USB-C, and then you have the control panel where all the scents are stored, your 10 scents, and you switch in the pods that you want for the scents, and then it'll use AI image detection to know what's going on screen and what fans to activate to shoot the fumes at you. And they even mention that you can, of course, swap out the pods but keep it labeled the same so that way it'll still recognize it and shoot out roses instead of rotten meat smell. Can you imagine, though, if you couldn't swap those out at all? Like, it just has like a million scents that it instantly swaps in between, and it's like super realistic. So if you get tear gassed in the game, you get tear gassed in real life with the fucking Zestum blasting right into your eyeballs, basically pepper spraying you. Or like, you know, mustard gas shoots out and just asphyxiates you while you're sitting in your chair trying to play your game. Nah, that'd be crazy. That's some Sword Art Online type shit. If you like expand upon this idea as like a torture device almost. But I mean, again, it seems like this is something that does actually work. I just don't know how many people are like really salivating over the ability to smell the game that they're playing. I feel like it'd be cool for a couple of minutes, but the novelty would really wear off when playing for a long period of time in like an extended gaming session, which most people are playing for a couple of hours usually. And I feel like if you're smelling shit the entire time, it's just going to be a bit of a headache. And you're probably going to like really go through the smell juices, like the potions they've got in there, because they're tiny pods. They show you in the video here in a moment. They're like this big, maybe. They're not huge at all. So I feel like you'd probably run through a ton of them very, very fast, which would then mean that you're constantly reloading and repurchasing pods, because I imagine they're not free. I don't think you can just replace them for free. Maybe I'm wrong. But you would be spending quite a bit of money to keep the scent bar fully stocked on smells. And if you're using it daily, I just truly don't know how long these pods are going to last you.
Once your game's running, simply share your game window with the software. Don't worry, nothing's recorded or stored. The AI just analyzes your screen in real time and nobody else can see it, not even me. And that's it for the setup part. You're ready to dive in.
I highly doubt that's true. Whenever it comes to anything AI, I have to imagine that it's a full-blown fucking red alert lie anytime they say, don't worry, it's like super secure. No one else can see it. Not even us. Because time and time again, that's been proven incorrect. it is just a lie, like 99% of the time. So perhaps the scent bar is also collecting data on you. It's entirely possible, I suppose, since you have to share quite a bit with it.
One scent pod lasts up to 3 months, depending on your gameplay, of course.
I just truly don't see how that's possible to claim that the pod lasts up to 3 months. You can see the pod is not that big. It's pretty slim, too. So how the fuck is there enough aroma fluid in there to last up to 3 months with daily playing, like hours of game time? I don't know. I just, unless it's like really frugal with how often it fans out some of the smells. But from what I saw in their like booth at Gamescom, it seems like it blasts out smells pretty frequently. Like, I just truly don't know how it could possibly last you 3 months, a single pod.
So whether you're walking through a forest, speeding down a racetrack, or fighting dragons, your world actually smells like it.
Furthermore, because we're committed to bringing scent into the entire digital entertainment world, streaming works too. Everything you can share via screen share becomes scent enabled. We're working hard to make it compatible with all the places you love to watch. With your support, we can take this final step, bringing immersive scent into every movie night, every stream, and every game.
Pretty ambitious goals. It's not just for games. They want to look to take this technology into other aspects of the entertainment space, namely streaming, which I feel like is a recipe for disaster, though could lead to some great moments like, all right, everyone load up your ass cartridges. I'm about to be blasting some nasty smells at you. Hope you're ready, PU, stinky inbound. That's going to be quite a bright future. I don't know. Again, it's just not something for me, but I saw this Kickstarter because Matt sent it to me, and I just wanted to yap about it a bit because it's very interesting to see smell-o-vision make a return in the modern age. And I wonder if it'll be more successful this time around, because smell-o-vision kind of collapsed from everything, all available data. It wasn't overly positive. Most people didn't love it, which is why it didn't stick around. But who knows? Maybe the scent bar here kicks off a new wave of big-time smellers. I guess we'll see. That's really about it. See ya. Wow. I don't even know how to appropriately express my shock for what just unfolded here. Best I can do is one of these. Like a Mr. Beast thumbnail. Melania Trump, from out of nowhere, just delivered a speech going over Epstein. The whole thing was more surprising than when people learned Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. And even more surprising for me, because I only recently learned that Melania can speak. I hadn't heard a peep from her in many, 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 many years. I just assumed she had taken like a vow of silence or something, and that Trump just speaks for her. I only learned that she talks after the trailers for the Melania documentary, which, by the way, is directed by Brett Ratner, who was also present in the Epstein files with some not good photos out there of him. Interesting choice to direct her movie. A big part of this press conference was about how it's a bunch of lies that she was like a close associate of Epstein or like a victim of Epstein, and that it was only ever casual correspondence with Maxwell/Epstein, and that the email that recently came out, you know, it's misleading. It's not actually indicative of like a personal connection there. So she tries to defend that and shoot all of that down, and then she also says some things that are directly contradictory to Donald Trump and the entire administration's stance on the Epstein files.
Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone.
Those words alone just had Kash Patel shoot up out of his bed in cold sweats, awaken abruptly from his slumber, tinkling his britches, and he's going to need to calm down by butt-chugging some brewskis, because Perjury Patel has maintained that Epstein, there's no credible evidence that Epstein trafficked minors to anyone. The only person is Epstein and Maxwell. That's it. There's no other clients or anything. But here, the First Lady is saying Congress needs to act and that Epstein wasn't alone. This flies in the face of the official stance of the administration and Donald Trump himself, where they talk about how justice has been served, so get over it. Even Todd Blanche is not even shy about it. Not a crime to party with Epstein. Probably won't be doing any further investigations. Their official stance is that everything that would ever happen with the Epstein files has happened, and that the American people shouldn't care about it, and anyone that does care about it is a bad person. Also, the Epstein files aren't real, they're a Democrat hoax. Meanwhile, from out of nowhere, Melania Trump delivers this speech where she's talking about her relationship to Epstein and how, like, there's a bunch of lies about it and it's all not true, but also how important the Epstein files are and that action needs to be taken, which is very, very much flying in the face of her husband's perspective on it and the administration that has desperately tried to make people forget about it. This came out of nowhere. Melania Trump delivered this at a time where no one was talking about the Epstein files. The media had forgotten about it. The administration got hit by the Men in Black neuralizer, so they didn't even know who Epstein was. They forgot that name entirely. And then Melania Trump comes and does this.
I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank you.
This had to be a huge jump scare to most people in the administration because I don't think they signed off on that. And I read a couple reports that she went rogue and did this without, like, official approval through the channels of the Epstein administration and their attempts to cover it up at every possible angle imaginable. So if those reports are true, if that's accurate, and she did this just willy-nilly, you know, on a whim, I bet the administration is fucking fuming over it. And now she calls for Congress to act, but Melania, get ready for the cold water. That call's coming from inside the house. You need look only in your bedside. Donald Trump is one of the main perpetrators of covering this shit up. His whole administration does everything in their power to bury it. So she is now mentioning the Epstein survivors directly, that's like Voldemort's name to this administration. They do not address the survivors, the victims of Epstein. So that was extremely surprising to hear her directly talk about it and how important it is to hear their testimony. I agree. We should be able to hear more from them and get more information about their experiences here and at least hear from them, which has been something this administration has been desperately trying to avoid, plugging their ears to it. I think she's right when it comes to that. Now, this wasn't the only thing she was addressing during this. The main thing is she was trying to set the record straight on her connection to Epstein and how they weren't close at all and all of these lies that have been spread about her being an Epstein victim or a close associate and pal are just a bunch of hooey, it's all hogwash. Which, again, comes out of nowhere because I hadn't heard those claims come up in months. This has been something the mainstream media has been radio silent on, crickets. So this just came out of nowhere and once again puts it right in people's noodle, brings it, right up front and center, which is great. I mean, actually, it's really wonderful that she decided to start talking about Epstein again in this way, because now, once again, it will remind people of the blatant corruption and the evil, the heinous acts that are being covered up here from this administration. It really is so wild because this was not being discussed all that openly. I do know now, as a result of this, that some email has been shared about her emailing with Epstein and Maxwell or something to that effect, which is something she also talks about in this, so I'm guessing that was probably the catalyst that made her want to do this. But it was something that people weren't really talking about until she brought it up. It's like if I go into a crowded theater and I say, all right, everyone, listen up. I just want to make it clear I did not shit my pants. And I don't want anyone here to think that I did. All right, now that that's out of the way, carry on. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, we weren't even really, thinking about that, but now that you've mentioned it, it makes us think that you might have doo-dooed. Did you poop your pants? What's bringing this up here?
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach.
Just ignore the numerous photos of Melania with Trump and with Jeffrey Epstein and Maxwell. I mean, they're right there at your fingertips, but don't look them up. Clearly, she didn't have a relationship, a friendly relationship with Epstein and Maxwell. She just photographed with them multiple times, that's all, you know. I find it a little hard to believe that they weren't friends or close in some capacity. Jiminy Christmas, again, the director of her documentary that just came out is Brett Ratner, who is in the Epstein files. I imagine they probably met through Epstein. I mean, that's just a hunch. I don't know that for sure, but that's quite a coinky-dink, don't you think? Like, I feel like she doesn't do a good job of, like, actually convincing people that there's no, like, connection between her and Epstein and Maxwell, that they weren't really friends, because it flies in the face of what your eyes can see. The photos, the emails that just came out. Like, there's plenty of things to suggest they were friendly at the very least. Maybe she wasn't like an Epstein victim per se, but it does seem like she was a pal to Maxwell and Epstein.
To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell. My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998. This initial encounter with my husband is documented in a detail in my book, Melania.
Nice, big shout out for her book, that's huge. I'm surprised she also didn't make a mention of the documentary or her cryptocurrency Melania coin. This was a great opportunity for her to shout out the shitcoin, what the fuck? She missed a huge marketing opportunity, but at least she got to name drop the book, so everyone can go pick that puppy up. I know everyone's really biting at their nails, just salivating, waiting to get their hands on more Melania content, and luckily she addresses that while talking about Epstein. And I like how she uses that as evidence, like, nope, this can't be true about meeting Trump through Epstein, because if you read my book, I actually documented the first time we met. And you know you can't lie when writing a book. Like, it's 100% truthful. It's gotta be. It's a book. You can't make shit up there. Like, what the fuck? That's not evidence. I have no idea if she actually met Trump through Epstein or the parties there or whatever. I don't know. But it's not like this shuts anything down. Again, this only makes people think that there is a more deep connection here between Melania and Epstein than previously thought. Like, before, it was just rumors and, like, potential explanations and theories, but her coming forward once again just adds more fuel to that fire, because she doesn't actually really prove anything at all. She just once again reminds people of it. And I imagine a lot of people that were watching this didn't even know that Melania had so many photographs and stuff with Epstein and Maxwell, or had like the emails with Maxwell. Like, I bet this actually put it on people's radar. And like I said, this really did come out of nowhere, because it's not like Epstein was a huge topic at the moment. With everything else going on, pretty much no one was talking about Epstein until she brought it up here. Which, I mean, again, I think it's great that people are reminded of it, because it's a huge fucking problem. It is extremely important, and there is still no justice even being pursued by this administration. So I am glad to see more people talking about it again. I am just really shocked to see how this happened. I would have never predicted something like this to go down here. And like I said at the beginning, she does have like a whole like minute and a half worth at the end of her press conference here dedicated to talking about how important it is, and how Epstein wasn't working alone, and how there still needs to be justice, and that the survivors need to be heard. We need to get more information. That's huge. And that is correct. We do need that. So hopefully we can start moving in that direction. I mean, the First Lady has now just made a big press conference, and it was brought up here. And it is very different than the official administration stance. So, what happens now, I wonder? I'm just very curious to see what comes next, because Donald Trump's wife has now just directly gone against what he says in regards to the Epstein files publicly. So, I guess we'll see how it all shakes out. That's really about it. So yeah, for a couple days now, there's been a video YouTube's been shoving down my throat, recommended out the wazoo, and tonight finally caved and decided to give it a peek. It's called Pulling Over the Police Doesn't End Well from Midwest Safety. And as advertised in the title, this citizen's arrest attempt does not go swimmingly. Far from it.
An officer pulls to the curb for a civilian following behind, honking their horn and flashing their lights constantly. After the civilian passes, the officer initiates a traffic stop.
The reason I stopped you is because you were honking at me and following at an unsafe distance?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Okay, do you have your driver's license on you?
I sure don't.
The chess master has made his move. There was no pressure, yet the quarterback still fumbled here. This gentle Sir Redditor tipped his fedora to the officer, and he's got him right where he wants her. So he was following her, honking, making a ruckus, flashing his lights, in what seems to be an attempt to get the officer to pull over so he could give her a stern talking to. And the way she describes it, and I guess even the way he describes it, makes it sound like that old meme, you know, the hit it, Joe, and then the guy's on like the fucking doohickey, just like a piano with a ton of noise-making gadgets and gizmos going boom, 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 penny whistle, like it seems like that's what this guy was doing, following the officer around. So she like pulled over to let him pass, and then eventually just pulled him over to figure out what the fuck is going on.
You better call your chief right now, you
That's not very nice.
Well, I have the right to pull you over. You were on the phone and you were doing something wrong.
So you were trying to pull me over?
Did you not see the lights flashing?
Okay. Sounds good.
Get your chief down here now.
He's not coming.
Yeah, he is.
And you're not free yet.
I'm asking for your supervisor.
Supervisor can come down, but not my chief.
Your supervisor's gonna come here.
Okay.
Because you have no business pulling me over.
Okay. But you were trying to pull me over.
I didn't do nothing wrong. I was behind you.
He's got some nerve questioning this man's authority. It's pretty clear he's in charge. So he is now doing the classic I need to speak to your manager move here, the old go-to Karen play. A John Madden classic. It's timeless. He did fumble the nomenclature. He was asking for the chief, which I guess the chief doesn't have an obligation to show up to every traffic stop when requested. Like Bloody Mary, if you say his name 3 times, the chief of police will show up. So he did eventually realize that it's the supervisor that he can request, which she obliges and gets the supervisor on the horn to join them at this hootenanny.
Can you determine from your mirrors what's safe? Because this says right here that may appear to be closer than
10-4, do we have any recent contacts with it?
Scream for help. Get out of the car and scream for help.
The driver is talking to his own child, who's also in the vehicle.
Start screaming for help.
He's now got his child stepping out of the car to scream for help.
Help!
Bud, you don't have to do that.
Okay, he's going to do it because you're
Help! 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 Help!
He's actually requesting a supervisor now, if one is available.
What an incredible father. He's really raising his son right. Barking orders, demanding that he get out of the car and fucking scream for help. I don't even understand what that plan is. What was the thought process there? That the kid would get out and scream for help and then the police would show up. But the police are already there? Like, I don't really know who he was expecting to show up. Fucking Batman or something? Like, I don't really get it. This is just insanity. Like, this is just actual lunacy. and he's setting the worst possible example for his son. I'm going to spoil the big reveal here because I think it's pertinent to what's going on. This guy's no angel. I know it's going to be hard to believe. Imagine my shock when I found out that he actually has an extensive criminal history with a litany of charges, like an absolute laundry list of charges, and he should not, under any circumstances, even have visitation rights to his child. This guy is a fucking menace, and he's using his kid here as some kind of, like, accomplice to his nefarious scheme. It's so fucked up. It's so weird.
Because you were doing something illegal. I wasn't. I was behind you.
Okay.
Honking my horn at you is not illegal. I'm allowed to honk my horn all I want.
What a circus he has created here. Entirely avoidable, by the way. This guy went out of his way in order to find shit to get himself into. He literally tried to find ways to steam his own ham by following the officer around apparently super closely, blasting his horn and flashing his lights and shit like it was some kind of like kaiju attack, and he was trying to warn everyone about the impending danger.
Is it gonna be funny when I tell the judge that I was following behind you honking the horn because you were doing something wrong? And I just had a conversation with the day officer yesterday that says that I have the right to do something.
Oh, I know who you are.
Yeah, you dumb.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
I cut out a lot here because it's mainly just him headbutting the horn non-stop. It's such an annoying pest. And now he kind of lets it slip. The cat's out of the bag that he's already had talks with officers, even as recent as yesterday, and then it dawns on her who this guy is. Other officers arrive at the scene. They also know who this guy is because he is a frequent nuisance.
This fat yesterday was on the phone with me yesterday, and that's why she's here now.
Hey, Joe. What's up, man? I'm the supervisor. You want to talk to somebody?
Yes. Can I get out for a second?
Just stay put. I can talk to you right here.
Okay. I was coming off of Ellis Street. This dumb came off of fucking Main Street. Had no blinker on when she made the turn. She was as well on her phone. I followed her down the road because I talked to somebody yesterday that made it very clear that if I had a problem with one of the officers that I can most definitely make a complaint about it. Okay. So I was following her down the road to figure out who she was, and I was flashing my light and honking my horn.
Were you behind her or in front of her?
I was behind her.
Okay.
What a story, Joe. A riveting tale indeed. So he wanted to follow her, find out who she was so he could make a complaint about her not using a turn signal and apparently being on her phone. That was the plan. And things went tits up real quick. So he's now talking about like a ticket that she's trying to give him for all of the hoopla that's being caused here, which has only set Joe off even further. He is now fully deranged and has gone feral because of that, and no matter what the supervisor says, it's already too far gone. He is a powder keg that is in the process of blowing, and he can't stop blowing.
And now she thinks she has the right to give me a ticket for honking my horn? I got every right to honk my f***ing horn.
How close were you to her?
I was a car length behind her.
Okay.
She swerved and hit the f***ing curb like a dumb bitch with her car over here.
Yeah, so he could go around me.
And I was nowhere close to being by her. Did I drive any closer to anybody else than I do any other day in the world?
So,
once again, this guy uses his kid as some kind of criminal sidekick, like a lackey here, to try and help him out of this pickle that he himself has put himself in. So now he's having his kid vouch that he wasn't following any closer to the officer than he does for any car on the road, which is scary, because this guy is probably up every single car's ass if he perceives that there is something out there that they may have done that he didn't like. And also, this guy looks like he is just actually on some very heavy drugs. This guy looks like he is off his gourd right now. Look at these eyes. That is a soulless stare of the devil. This guy looks crazy.
For flashing your lights or what?
She said I was honking my horn at her because I was trying to get her to stop. I was not following too closely.
Okay.
Can you guys prove it? What is the law when it follows too closely? What does the mirror say when you read them? What does that say? If you guys are so smart. Objects in mirror appear closer than they
It
are.
has nothing to do with what it says on the mirror.
Yeah, it does. It is a lawful statement on there.
Why do you always have to be so confrontational when you deal with us?
I'm gonna be honest, I really like that line of thinking that Joe cooks up there. Read what the car mirror says. Objects in mirror may be closer than they appear. He can't quite read that. He's fuming too much. He's seeing red, so he's gone full illiterate. But he's trying his best. He knows that there's words on there that say something to that effect, but he can't quite get them out. But the idea that he's trying to get across is that he wasn't following too close. She has been deceived by the mirrors, which clearly state that they may seem closer than they appear. Thus, reality is distorted. You've fallen for his trap. Joe wins. That's the idea here. The mirrors prove he's right.
Because you guys, listen, this is about transparency. I have been being harassed by my neighbors time after time again, and you guys allow it to happen. This called me yesterday harassing me, and then now she's pulling me over because she's breaking the law. And you guys want to write me a ticket because you don't want to sit in front of a judge in front of one of your...
Talking on her cell phone?
Is it against the law to be using electronic devices while operating a vehicle? Is it against the law in the state of Wisconsin?
Not to talk on your cell phone like this. No, it is not.
Since when is it not to...
The officer then goes on to explain the law about being on your phone in the state of Wisconsin, which actually somehow gets through to Joe, at least temporarily. It breaches his defenses where he's like, oh, okay. But of course, that's not, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. He's already upset. So, even though that does dawn on him that maybe there wasn't a law being broken there and that this is a whole bunch of nothing, making a mountain out of a molehill, he's still mad, and thus he needs to take out his wrath.
We can take it to court, and we can make this a thing with Madison.
That's your right to take it to court, Joel. Just like you took that disorderly conduct ticket to court when we dealt with you down at the school.
This dumb bitch literally said in front of my kids
it ain't gonna do you any good argument.
I don't give a f***, dude. What are you gonna do? Not a f***ing thing. Because obviously you're letting this fat f*** do what the f*** she wants anyways.
She's just doing her job.
No, she's not.
If you don't agree with it, you can argue
How
in court.
is she doing her
We're
job?
not gonna argue
What
out
is the
here.
law when it comes...
Joe continues to try and alt. The officer sounds extremely tired of it. No one here besides Joe even seems mad. Like, this guy is spitting and shitting, throwing this temper tantrum, saying all of these nasty, mean things, and nobody even really cares. They just want to go back to their day. They're not even looking to, make a big deal out of this, it seems. Like, they just want to give him the ticket and just wash their hands of it. But Joe insists on taking it to the highest possible extreme.
Did I break the law?
Okay. So stay put. Don't make this any worse than it has to be, Joel.
What are you gonna do about it?
Stop.
I dare any one of you dumb to try to put your hands on me.
Just stop. We don't want to have to.
No, you started this. You're allowing your
I didn't
officer.
start anything.
No, I was behind your fat officer.
If you be quiet and give us a minute, we'll be done here.
No, there's no minute, you dumb.
Well, whatever, Joel. Obviously, we're not going to come to any sort of agreement here.
I do love that line there from Joe as well. You started this. As Joe was literally the one that peeled off in order to try and get this officer to pull over for this whole song and dance that he had brainstormed. It's a very interesting strategy. I can't say I quite understand fully the Joe gambit, but all power to him, I suppose.
So conduct, a ticket?
Was going to be a ticket, but now it's not.
Joel, you make this stuff worse, dude, by the way you
guys did this. This fat called me yesterday.
Just stop. Joel, knock it off.
She got me by the throat. She's got me by the throat. Stop. She's got me by the throat.
Come on.
She's got me by the throat.
Joel.
She's got me by the throat. She's got me by the throat.
Stop.
She's got me by the throat.
Okay.
Dude, you're on a camera.
She's got me by the throat.
Joe, nobody's got you by the throat.
She's got me by the throat!
Officers, please, can't you see he's being attacked by a ghost? There's a ghost and they're strangling him like Homer Simpson to Bart. Do something! Get the Spectral Patrol out there to take down this rabid ghost that's attacking his throat. Oh my goodness, this is horrifying stuff we're seeing here. So yeah, it's probably pretty clear to you now, but they decided tickets wouldn't cut it here. It wasn't really working, so they decided to slap him with a disorderly conduct charge and take him in. I'm not gonna bother showing any more of his, tug of war with the police while they try and get him in the back of the cruiser. And to think that it all could have been avoided if that officer didn't just call him yesterday. What was that about, huh? Free my man Joe. He did nothing wrong. This was all, the officer's fault for driving, I guess. With Joe on the road. Driving while Joe on the road, that's a punishable offense. Joe owns those streets. You will drive the way Joe instructs you to. You are NPCs in Joe's world, and if you are a little out of line, you best be saying your prayers, because Lord help us, Joe's going to be trying to pull that ass over, I guess. I don't even understand what all of this was about. I have no idea what he's talking about with her calling him yesterday. I haven't the slightest fucking clue what that's about, but it seems like Joe is a daily problem in the area, so it seems like he basically has some kind of confrontation with police every day. So maybe she had responded to something yesterday that involved him. I really don't know. It's just so fucking outrageous. As the name of the video led me to believe, him pulling over the officer did not go well for him.
An officer remained with Joe's child until his grandmother arrived to pick him and the vehicle up. Joe was charged with resisting obstructing an officer, disorderly conduct, and battery to a law enforcement officer. While the suspect never sued over this matter as promised, court records indicate the suspect has been repeatedly sued in court for injunctions against abusive conduct, failing to pay rent, repeated issues of failing to pay child support, disputes over child paternity, failing to pay rent, and civil evictions. In both 2023 and 2024, the suspect was prohibited against engaging in conduct or contact with certain victims he had previously targeted. The suspect also has an extensive criminal history, listing dozens of suspected misdemeanor and felony charges.
Sure, it might seem like most of Joe's life is dedicated to just being a piece of shit, but I think this one that we just watched in the body cam is probably the one where he finally has his come to Jesus moment and realizes that he's got a problem and needs help. And this is probably the one that sets him on the right path, I bet. He probably learned his lesson this time around. I think I can't remember, I'm going off memory, but I think he got 12 months probation and was required to write an apology to the officers at this scene, as well as attend anger management courses. Maybe that did the trick. Maybe that was finally the one that got Joe on the straight and narrow. I have no clue. Anyway, though, just wanted to yap about this a bit. That's it. See ya.